Last time on Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, we found ourselves coming back in on the scene of our new friend Ear. Not that you had quite learned her name at that point yet. Um, Saying something to Mace about being an Einherjar, and kind of dragging him from the bar that you were in, uh, demanding his help in rescuing Kara. The rest of the party, of course, quickly went to follow along, only to find the virtuoso kind of stumbling down the stairs behind them, asking them to be quiet, and then realizing that he recognized this woman that was dragging Mace away. He jumped the railing of the stairs and nearly broke his face upon landing, but he stumbled up to her instead and screamed, your name is Ear, I know you. And she's like, yeah, okay, what about it? And as he tried to, sing her praises, she noped out of there and dragged Mace off, and the party kind of followed suit. You guys found yourself following her as she basically did something to Mace that created this silver dust that started to be carried off in the wind in a direction, and Ear just started to follow it, and you guys all continued to follow her, eventually being led to essentially this field that we find, or a zone, I guess, that we find ourselves in now. Once here, you guys kind of slowed down. Mallow helped the team with his pass without trace ability, and you guys managed to sneak up to the lower cliff here, climb your way up to the landing where you found the other two sisters, Rhoda and Sangrather, who Ear had informed you was the god Loki in disguise to some extent, were up upon, and you guys kind of took your time, made a nice plan, and in that time, Sangrather did manage to kind of see something going on in the shadows that Mallow was kind of casting to keep you guys hidden, but she didn't quite know what. And with that, it was enough time for the party to get their plan in order and engage. Mallow shadow stepped over and got himself in position. Ear ended up on Mace's shoulders, while Leif ran up and got an echo between the two Valkyrie sisters, and then Mace and Ear kind of moved up. And Pluzak as well kind of went and took and hid and just prepared himself to assist the party as he could. With that, the engagement started proper. You found Kara's sister Rhoda increasing in size to a size large creature, almost a giant-like creature, some would say, as she screamed out at the group in rage, trying to kind of cut some of you off. However, you had managed to already sneak enough people around that the other sister was kind of pinched already. And seeing the precarious situation she was in, she already kind of stepped right into combat mode and transformed herself into a giant snake. From there, you guys managed to just essentially beat them into submission. I'm not going to lie. There was probably a lot more damage that could have been done to the party throughout the fight, but thanks to Mace hitting a double crit in one turn, and I think another 2 crits throughout the night, I've at least seen one.
They've got 4 at very minimum.
Yeah, Leif got another 2 already. You guys you cut these people apart. You very quickly kind of found yourselves going through, not necessarily as quickly through Rhoda, you weren't focusing on her as much as this second Valkyrie, the one that was supposed to be Loki in disguise, seemed to be doing something to Kara's body, who was on a dais. Some sort of green light connecting them to one of the statues nearby. So you guys all tried your best to focus her down. You got her through what was essentially a snake form pretty easily. And then when she was in a direwolf form, it ended up being a little bit more difficult. Regardless, during this time, the party kind of realized something was definitely going on with Kara's body, and eventually this Loki in disguise shifted whatever ritual it was so that it was including not only herself and Kara and the statue, but also Rhoda. At which point, some of the damage on Rhoda's body seemed to be dissipating onto Kara's body. Seeing this, you guys started to realize that it might be prudent to try and get Kara up. Mallow had already kind of stumbled past her, hoping to try and figure out what was going on with her. Eventually, he dragged her body away, and I believe it was Mace, was it, that did the medicine check on her?
No, it was Ear.
Was it Ear? Okay. I couldn't remember. So eventually, though, Ear did also move over and do a medicine check to determine that Kara had been likely poisoned with something in terms of drinking. And I believe Pluzak eventually either tossed a mushroom over or made it over and gave you guys a mushroom that made her throw up. in order to start trying to revive her and also get her into the fight to try and stop whatever this ritual was. In the meantime, this is what Mace was doing. This is why he was in the forefront of my mind. Mace decided to move towards this statue that was kind of being involved in the ritual and break it apart using his hammer. Generally, it seemed it took about 2 to 3 swings, especially on that first one. It took about 3, but the statue was shattered to pieces, and sadly, the green light did not dissipate, but rather switched to another statue. Mace continued in his goal and eventually made it over to this other one and broke it as well. And with that point, the ritual, their brain, had finally ceased in its operation. At this point, Kara was awoken as well, and the party just continued to pound down on Loki and Rhoda, coming out with a pretty handed victory. I believe the only person who went down was Leif, and even then he was pretty readily protected, not protected per se, but healed by Pluzak, supported by Pluzak, into maintaining on the battlefield even through his low life and his down but not out state. With that, we do technically find ourselves coming back in pretty much right where we left off, which was with the group kind of gathered around Kara, who had recently been called out to by Ear, who was just ecstatic to see her sister still alive, healthy, and basically tried to throw her arms around Kara. And Kara basically said to her, listen, the last person that tried to do that ended up putting me in that coma or that sleep. So you're going to have to kind of not please. And that's where we are. So I've moved the party to be kind of surrounding the two sisters. Ear is still being a little standoffish for Kara's sake. And the virtuoso, who had caught up during the fight and serenaded you guys with some battle music while you fought the Valkyrie sisters, is kind of standing over there and watching the scene with bated breath and a whole bunch of illusory instruments at his side. Is there anything anyone would wish to start with? No is perfectly fine as well. So if that's the case, go ahead.
I'm just gonna look at Kara and go, so, do you have any more fucking siblings that you want to invite?
Technically she doesn't remember, I think. Your memory back, sis? You good?
No.
Okay, so we got 20 some odd now. I can't actually give you a certain answer because I don't know what actually happened to, well, Rhoda for sure, and Sangarthur, I don't know if that was actually her body. So, yeah, not sure. 20 some odd, though. Just give or take.
Are you okay now, though, Kara?
In what regard?
Well, you're talking, so you're alive. Can you walk, or...
Well, yeah, I killed both of them.
Yeah, she beat the shit out of those girls. It was beautiful. I will be teasing... If Rhoda is still out there, I will be teasing her for eons.
Alright, so someone actually filled me in. What... I understand that we just stopped something, so... What exactly was it, and why was it supposed to happen?
That is actually a great question. And immediately as she's talking, you see these two beams of silvery light come down from the sky and surround both Kara and Ear, respectively, both individual fingers of light. And both of them would hear a feminine voice. Finally, I've gotten through to you again. Kara, are you all right? Ear, I'm so glad you made it. And this would be Frea.
I'm very confused.
You would be hearing Freya's voice. You would definitely recognize that.
No, I know who's
Okay.
talking, but it's
sure.
like, I thought you were ignoring me.
No, my sweet wild one, I would never do such. There was something blocking us. I imagine it was whenever Loki put whatever avatar of his on your plane. He caused some sort of jamming.
For the sake of ease, maybe include my fine companions in conversation here so they can hear.
That's not going to be possible. I can use Ear as a mouthpiece. And she just stops talking to you, Kara. Ear still has kind of the silvery glow, though. So if you want, then she can at least answer that way.
That's fair. Well, one and only chance, folks, to speak to my lady.
Hello, champions.
Champions? Okay.
You are Kara's chosen warriors, so yes, you will eventually be champions of Valhalla.
I don't know if chosen would be the best term, but okay.
Whether Kara remains with her memories or not, she still is a Valkyrie. Every part of that still follows with her.
Well, if my limited memories are correct, it means if you kick the bucket here, you get to fuck, fight, and feast for the rest of your eternity.
You just see Ear is like over her shoulder, pointing at you, Leif, giving you the thumbs up. Like, remember? Because you were super into it last
Finger
time.
guns.
Yeah. She knows you're on
Yes,
board. So.
I don't know why we're still here. I thought we were going there.
Oh, no. That's when you die, silly. And that's clearly Ear talking.
Oh.
Well, what are we
Uh,
waiting for?
Yeah. Leif pulls a knife out, just jabs it in his own heart. Pulls
It's
like,
just-
no, I just healed you.
My echo just appears behind me with a
Punches
sword.
you in the face again, yeah. Like that other time. Oh, man.
Your echoes 1 through 400 are already up there.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you think they've been hanging out? It's just this little side hut off next to Valhalla. Keeps
The
growing
Echo
in
Hut.
size every time an echo gets sacrificed.
I almost get a weird triple buzz just now.
A little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It's aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Okay, what else?
Is this another one like the last two that were just here? Or is this person not going to try and kill us?
What was the? Sorry, I'm not sure I understand your question.
I'm asking if it's the same. Like we just killed these supposed Valkyries, gods or whatever. I'm asking because I don't know who the fuck Freya is.
Okay, so you're asking who though? If this thing is trying to kill you as well?
I guess Ear, because she's the one talking, or Kara. Is this more of the friends that are going to kidnap you and take you onto altars?
No, Freya is the one who sent me here. Or allowed me to come here, I guess would be the more appropriate choice.
With the purpose of what?
Doing what they couldn't.
Meaning?
Stopping Arl. Clearly, that is her goal.
So, gods, he makes air quotes, are finally stepping in.
It is not that we did not wish to. We simply could not carry out any acts without causing more harm than Arl currently is.
And what's changed?
Kara has learned of the situation and offered herself of her own free volition to act as my avatar to come down here and change it.
So all it takes is someone to actually want to do something, because God's hands are tied. Incredibly convenient.
It's very interesting how, when you are given full capacity to assist yourself or ask others to assist you, you somehow reach for the nuclear option, as it were. The most grand availability instead of at least putting effort in yourself. Well, maybe not you personally, seeing as you are a chosen warrior, and I would say a fairly devout one, considering you have stood by her side quite well throughout this endeavor.
Devotion is warranted and earned. Can't say the same about others.
That is fair. More than enough for someone to keep themselves going, I guess.
Are there any more of my siblings here that I need to watch out for, like those two? And Kara just points to the one that still has the spear stuck out of them.
No, you should not need to worry. I have caught up with Heimdall and clarified a few things, so no others should be sent to your realm. Currently, we are simply awaiting Ear to find a location where she can return to us, and then all will be as it should, and you should be alone throughout the rest of your journey. Well,
They've said that they have
relatively
no
speaking.
idea what was happening, right?
They could not communicate down with Kara. They understood what was occurring.
As in the ritual, I mean.
Yes.
That was my next
they-
question.
Yeah, they know, but I don't think that she necessarily has been asked that part yet.
Okay.
Which one of you wants to ask? Since it sounds like both of you are
I mean,
curious.
he called dibs, so.
Okay, so what is the exact
So-
question that you want to phrase it as?
What was the purpose of this ritual that they were attempting to carry out on me?
Oh, as far as I could tell, it was to supplant Rota's spirit within the body in place of your own. You would have taken whatever it was Rota was within, and then, honestly, I'm not sure. I plan to ask Loki. Don't worry. Thor has already got him for me.
Mischievous smile appears on Kara. Oh, is Rhoda dead, or did she just go back up?
Currently she is in a coma on our end. I will do what I can for her, but this was her own choice. She fell for the poisoned fruit.
There's a small part of me that thinks I wasn't thorough in that regard then.
You wished her to be dead?
I mean, she tried to kill me and my friends, so sort of.
That is fair, but it saddens me to hear you wishing such a finality upon one of your sisters.
Then I don't remember who tried to kill me the first time they met me.
Again, that is fair. Hopefully your memory gets better at some point, but honestly, if not through this endeavor, you did have another magic of a god directly channeled through you, and you remember nothing more?
No.
Then, yes, nothing more I think I could do for you in that regard. Maybe time.
Of
I
course, always.
remember enough of what I need to do to carry it out.
I would tell you to take your sister here, but she will not be able to remain for very long. In fact, if you could help her, I believe between the two of you, we should be able to repair whatever idol it is that is nearby that should restart the ritual site, and I can take over it and send her home.
We need to fix this place to send her home.
It should not be difficult. And she's going to just, like, walk over to you, and she's just going to gently reach out for your hand, if you'll let her take it.
Fine.
Okay, and she's just going to drag you, I'm on the wrong map for that, over to
Which block?
this one over here. And Ear will just put, so she reached out her left hand to you, and she's holding your right hand, and she puts out her right hand on the stone. It's pretty crumbled, since Mace did a number on this one. He broke it in two. He was swinging big. But she basically, gestures with her chin for you to do the same with your left hand. And once you do so, because I'm assuming you are, I mean, you've already kind of accepted. She basically, like the silver light channels through both of you again. That's, encompassing her as well. And kind of slowly, but it doesn't take more than a couple minutes, the statue reforms and goes back to pretty much how it was. These are all made of ice. You would now be able to tell pretty clearly, due to the fact that it's cold to the touch. I mean, you know how ice feels. It's almost identical, but there is definitely like this weird. It's not a warmth by touch per se, but you can feel a different energy radiating through it than what is currently possessing you. So the only way I can really register it is like a heat or something akin to that on your skin. But with that, Ear kind of lets you go and steps back, and she just kind of looks at the statue, looks at the dais, and Freya basically says, "I can take her at any time now. Any other questions?"
Kara will sit there and think to herself for a moment. I've got nothing else I can think of. I've still got to carry out the hit on Oral, essentially.
Then Freya would turn to the rest of you and just, "As she said, it is your one chance."
What exactly makes us any more capable of doing this than, say, an army of fighters?
I know not. If what you mean is why were you chosen, that is something only Kara could answer.
Rugs.
Drugs?
Drugs.
Shrugs.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright, if nothing else, it's no problem. So at that point, Freya would just kind of give a slight bow of the head and just, "Be well, Kara. Reach out when you need me. I will try my best to answer you. Should be much easier now. And you as well, chosen warriors. Be well. Support Kara to the best of your ability, and you will find much awaiting you here in Valhalla." And with that, the silver light kind of just ceases, and Ear just kind of comes back into herself a little bit more so. Not that she wasn't conscious before, but you can tell that her facilities are much more her own again. And she just kind of looks at you, Kara. You can tell her eyes are a little moist, and she's just, You really don't remember a lot, huh?
Not much. Being disemboweled by Thor a couple times and rowdy drinking at a bar, but that's about it.
How? So then, she's right that some are coming back. Okay. Okay then. Do you got any ways that they did? And actually, at that point, the bystander that he is, the virtuoso would actually kind of step forward and just, you kind of went into the trance that one time when you sang with me.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did sing a couple times.
Do you want to try again? He just like waves the instruments forward a little. Rhoda kind of not Rhoda. I'm sorry. Ear looks over at you, kind of like expectant almost.
I suppose. would we rather do this somewhere that's not in the middle of the wilderness?
Well, if we go back to the bar, then it's He looks up at like the sky, looks for the moon. I think it's like 9 or 10 o'clock. People's not going to be happy for the noise. There's no one around.
Plus, the acoustics are great here.
Yeah, there's no one around. It wasn't that bad before. Might as well. And
Oh.
he does then say, I got 2 methods, if you prefer. You could join me, or you could just listen, see what happens.
No, I'll help. I don't suppose it would be too much of a problem.
Fantastic. So he asks you to come over. And he actually looks over at Ear and just, you know her, you know all of them, right? All her songs? And Ear nods. He just waves her over, and she kind of skips over in glee. She stands at the other side of him. And Kara, much like last time, you know, you're feeling a little bit more nervous than excited, seeing that you don't technically know or necessarily remember any of the things that you have sang in the past. However, you will find that once the music starts, I'm just trying to make sure everything is muted correctly. Once the music starts, you know, it's very readily comes back to you. And you guys would all enjoy this, as both of the Valkyrie sisters will be joining in together in song. So most of the instruments of the virtuoso very clearly shift in nature. Some of them being actual clashing swords, some of them being, you know, war horns like you hear. Violins still exist, and massive war drums are behind him. And both the Valkyries in front of you just start swaying. Ear actually summons up her wings again. So they both very much look similar. One's just kind of like a shorter-haired version of the other. And they just kind of seem to very much fall into a rhythm with each other. Fantastic. Okay. So with that, Kara, throughout the performance, the party would find, and you yourself, your armor would have kind of started to glow, most particularly the crack in the front. And once again, as has happened before, once it stops at the end of the song, it kind of is a little bit more complete than it used to be. And while there is no direct memory correspondent per se that you've unlocked, you do find a flood of information regarding the topic of the Einherjar, you know, coming back into mind. So you and I can kind of go over, just in general, what some of that means. I think you probably have a pretty good idea of, you know, what that concept is for the campaign, and it doesn't change too much, but it is at this point that we will be switching up how your you know, your armor ability, the Chooser of the Fallen, kind of works to what I discussed with you earlier. So I'll send you that description at some point here in a minute, just so you have the wording to go off of. But I think you already know what it kind of does, so we should be good to.
Roughly.
Yeah. So at this point, you've kind of unlocked that. The virtuoso has this really happy grin on his face, and you know, he's performed a show now with 2 Valkyries, and he's just ecstatic. And
I feel like I.
Go ahead.
I feel like I wrote that to prove a point, or after the end of a battle covered in blood, and just decided to start singing about it.
Ear just kind of grins at you. You're kind of close. It was a bit of a representation of what a good warrior's mentality should be, whether that's a god or a mortal. If anything, most of the sisters felt it was a great encapsulation of how we choose to live life.
Well, stands to reason that I'm not afraid to make an enemy out of someone.
Exactly. Never were. And honestly, the funniest thing about it isn't whether or not, you know, you were afraid to make an enemy. It was whether people were afraid to make an enemy with you.
Oh, I couldn't have been that bad. Or was I?
Bad is the wrong term. Just not someone you want to get on the wrong side of. It's not exactly easy to overcome you in battle, and a lot of times the choices you make are really difficult to understand in the foreground, but in the long run they, well, it almost always comes together. Can I hug you now?
Fine.
She just jumps through the air into your arms. She wraps her arms around your neck, and she nearly like spins around Kara, you know, like woo. But yeah, she just pulls you into a bear hug.
There. You did good.
Thank you. And she's like sobbing a little bit, clearly trying to hold herself back from crying. She's like, I just was so worried about you.
She'll just kind of, put a hand on the back of her head, look to the group like, what the fuck do I do?
As you put a hand on the back of her head, you would definitely feel just this innate desire to kind of like run your fingers through her hair and just pat her head until, as if everything, babying her, everything's going to be okay. And you find that it's very familiar. This
Why don't I
situation
feel-
in general.
Why do I feel like you usually came to me for problems?
She just kind of nuzzles deeper into your bosom, even though it's just armor. She seems to be unwilling to say.
The armor is just like bending.
Yeah.
Well, it's chainmail, so it should be flexible, so.
Oh yeah, for some
Technically, you
reason
have-
I picture it as a
no,
chest plate.
she does
but-
technically have a breastplate. That is the only
Oh.
part that is actually like a full metal. The rest of it is a combination of chainmail and leather.
Hate to break the tender moment, but we might want to return you from whence you came before you burn out whatever vessel you're using to be here.
Yeah, she turns her head to you, but doesn't like let go of Kara. Yeah, I know. Mom sent the instructions. I guess if you don't mind seeing me off, it's just gonna take a minute. But otherwise, I could do it myself, I guess.
I would ask what we do with whatever is left of you once you're gone.
I don't know. I guess just leave it here. I mean, the statues, I think, should dissolve once the rest of the gods kind of remove the magic from them when I'm on the other side. And the bodies that are here, she just kind of walks over and nudges Rhoda with her foot, seem organic. So I guess they should just, treat them like organic bodies.
Eric's just gonna pick up Rhoda and throw her off the cliff.
Okay.
I
Leave it for
mean,
the wolves.
the animals will take care of that, but
Rhoda just, her body's over there.
I might be getting the wrong impression here, but I was working under the assumption that you were kind of possessing whatever you're walking in.
I'm not exactly sure how it works, to be honest. All I know is that when Freya found out what was happening, she, found another one of these artifacts, said it wasn't as good as Kara's, and popped me in it to come help her. I just know the consequences.
Oh, good. So at least you haven't. Never mind.
I'm kind of concerned.
Well, I figured it's simple enough to manifest when you have a vessel. And I figured that vessel would not be simply some artifact, but flesh and bone.
Think it is? I don't... Yeah, you'll find out, I guess.
Well, the other two apparently made it back. Though one is unconscious and the other is wishing they were. He'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I'm not worried about making it back. It's just, I think he was worried about what to do with the body.
Well,
Oh yeah, well, we'll
nature
find
will
out
take
as she
care of
said.
it. Or we could do as the old warriors did with their boats and just light you on fire.
Burn
one
it,
or the
yeah.
other.
It's always a solution.
We could use the campfire.
I fully plan on going back to the inn. Where are we?
Yeah, about that.
Oh, not too far from, I don't know, East Haven? Was it? Yeah, East Haven. 15 minutes that way. She just points you in the direction.
Wonderful.
Yep, that's fine. Mallow. Shadow
Looking for
steps
anything
down to the
important down
bodies.
there?
Money.
No, that's fair.
So Rhoda just kind of will tap you on the shoulder again, Kara. And as you turn, I'm assuming she jumps into your arms again, but this is a much quicker hug. And she just kind of says, this is goodbye. I guess hopefully I'll see you again back in the other realm. And,
Probably. Some point. Can't say when, though.
she beams at that because she was very unsure if you ever were going to return by your own volition with the whole memory issue. So she just kind of trots off and she jumps up on the little dais here. And as she kind of goes to activate this magic, the virtuoso steps forward again. Just, Madame, thank you for gracing me with the presence of 2 Valkyries upon my stage. So allow me, my own creation, from dreams of you and your sisters, while I play you off And once again, the instruments, I should say, that's the word I was looking for, start to swell. Once the instruments start to swell, Ear
course.
just kind of Ear just takes her moment to start off whatever ritual is happening here. And you would all notice as the statues around you all begin to glow various colors, eventually reaching a brightness point that it becomes very difficult to look at all of them. They then channel lights of energy out to Ear, much like what the green light was doing to Kara, and it forms this sort of rainbow bridge up into the sky. Like a finger of light, I guess, but it is angled, is the best way to put it. And Ear's body just kind of raises up a little on the dais, and a silvery powder just starts to kind of float off from the body up the rainbow trail that has been created off into the heavens. And Kara, for you, the interesting thing is, as the instruments swell in this, you're kind of watching Ear, but a plethora of emotions are also kind of swelling in your chest that are overwhelming your mind in a way that you quickly realize is yet another flashback of some sort. This one's less.
Fun.
Yeah, this is a little more loose form than some of the ones you've had before. It's really a scene where you feel yourself soaring through the skies. Not something too unknown to you at this point, but it's much higher up than you've generally ever flown. Chilled wind and moist clouds are kind of beating at the exposed skin of your face. And side by side with you are your sisters, flying almost wingtip to wingtip. And you can kind of see that each one of them has basically the same face as you, but almost everyone has a different sort of quirk or mark on them. Beauty marks here, different colored hair, different styles of hair, different lip shapes or colors a little bit, but it's all the same facial shape. Eye colors are a little different, but they look the same. All that sort of, basically not identical sisters, but very close. And as the minutes kind of tick on through the overture of this song, you find that the sisters all spread out, and you gather, not gather, but you spread out over a field. You actually disperse is the word I'm looking for, over a field of warriors. There's hundreds of them on each side of some sort of army. Hundreds going at it, and they're all just mercilessly slaughtering one another. And the Valkyries don't really seem to care. All of you simply wait, with discerning eyes measuring each and every fighter, until finally a single one of your sisters dives down ahead of the rest of you. She speeds to the corpse of a man with bloodshot eyes and an equally blood-covered axe, and she sways. The body is swayed with several spears sticking from its corpse. And as he goes and touches, or as she goes and touches his cheek with her hand, this last spike of energy seems to just shoot through him, allowing him the strength to strike down the several who had pierced him before he finally just succumbs and into his final death. And that same gentle hand that's on his cheek comes away, and you see the spectral form of this man follow. And immediately this sister just flies up into the sky. And you kind of chuckle inwardly at yourself, not necessarily at the warrior, but at her choice. It's not a bad one. You know that you'd never second guess a sister like that, but she has a type, and you're kind of recognizing it. And then, as your eyes finally return to the battlefield, you simply notice that even more of your sisters are doing the same thing and escorting the spirits up towards Valhalla. And you know that in a moment, you too will be doing exactly the same. And then you kind of have the memory fade out as you watch Ear's spirit. You now realize you actually can see the form of it. And she's just waving at you with a smile on her spiritual face as she floats off into the light. And it gets too bright for you to see her among the rainbow. The rest of you just see the silver powder floating away. And then as the song comes to a relative close, any of you that look back at the virtuoso would just see him like kind of sweating as he's conducting just an orchestra of instruments, and a massive smile is on his face as he is ecstatic to have played literally a song that he wrote to dreams of Valkyries for Valkyries. And with that, the corpse falls to the ground, and the rainbow bridge dissipates, just leaving all of you alone. In terms of you, Mallow, since I know that you're searching the bodies, just give me an investigation roll for each of them to determine how much stuff you find with, quick searches. There's some stuff that's obvious, it's just anything else.
Kara will walk to the ledge and, you could spare my sister's axe, I'll take that.
Okay, so on the on Rhoda's body, the one that's technically to your left, the east, we'll say, you would indeed find a great axe. You would find a javelin, and you would find a hand axe, and then of course her armor, which you would be able to determine is just kind of heavy cloth. It doesn't actually look much more like anything than cloth armor. Like it's not even leathers or anything. And the other body, you would find almost nothing that you would consider useful. A dagger, she's wearing a breastplate, and she has a shield, and that's about it.
You also find this.
The Necronomicon, no! It actually bites you as you as you search through the lower drawers.
I was muted. Great axe, hand axe, javelin, and then cloth armor. You said.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have any AC.
Okay, and then the other one was just normal.
A dagger,
armor.
a breastplate, and a shield. I think I told you. Yeah.
I guess I'll hand. Do you want? I hold up both the axes. Which one?
The bigger one.
Toss it up at her.
Alright.
Can I see if there's anything special in particular to the shield or breastplate or anything? Oh. Or the simple hand axe?
I mean, I think what you have to do is focus on it during a short rest, or focus on it for an hour or something, and that will tell you if it's got a magic ability and what it is, right?
Okay.
And then if
Yeah,
you wanted to attune to it at the end of that process, you could still do that with that same hour or something to that effect.
Okay.
So.
Alright, I'll just throw this stuff in my bag then, minus the great axe,
Okay.
and go back up.
Okie doke.
I'm gonna walk over to Leif and be like, would you mind if I got my bag back?
Oh yes.
It's like, I forgot. Absolutely.
I guess you can have it back.
Appreciate it.
I didn't smell it, I promise. What an odd thing to say, Leif.
If you find any rope in there, it's mine.
Oh, yeah, I need my rope back. Kara just starts doing a magic trick. She's pulling hundreds of feet of rope out of the bag.
I mean, sure.
Oh, God. I believe Kara would be too smart for that. She would say, okay, Leif, take this end. Start running.
Alright, hold on to this end. I'm gonna fly up.
Yeah, there you go.
You'd have to tie a rock to it, throw it off a cliff.
But then you're not gonna get the rope back.
Oh, you'll go get it.
You can fly. You're fine.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's pretty much it for here. As long as everybody's ready to return.
Oh yeah.
Okay, doke.
On the way back, I am gonna speak to the virtuoso and just be like, I know it's your stage voice, but your regular one's really not that bad.
Also, where's your boss?
We require a separation between stage presence and real presence in order to properly denote to people when it is time for us to cease. And it seems very rehearsed, as if those are not his words.
That seems very rehearsed, like they're not your words.
Oh, they're not. That's what Sedimple always says. So you guys would all be led, you'd all come back to the bar. Ear is, of course, no longer with you. Kara would be, so you can pop yourself on. Perfect.
I already did.
And the virtuoso would just kind of head over to the bar. And good sir, if you still can, hey, drink to my victory on the stage. And almost immediately as he's served the drink, he goes back to his regular voice as well. Just, thank you.
Biggest cup, strongest thing you have.
He slides you exactly that.
I'll have what she's having.
He slides you two. He recognizes you. And a fish.
I give him a nod.
He knows
like
better.
It's like this tiny little leftover sardine that doesn't look like worth much, but
He garnished the drink with the sardines.
yeah, he's like, this man likes fish. Give fish.
I come over here I go to the bar first, get a drink, and then just sit in the corner.
Okay, totally fine. He gives you a drink and watches you leave, and that one's a bit weird.
He just
It's
has
been
to
a
brood
night.
after every fight. It's kind of his thing.
Sonny, if you're gonna talk to me, why don't you come over to the bar instead of yelling from that table?
Oh, I don't know that I'd be any
Looks at Kara. That one's weird too.
good in the bar, but
Kara will just look to herself, look back at the bartender. I think we all are a little bit odd.
Yeah, adventurers. Especially that one looks at the virtuoso. He's like sipping at his mug, like he's slurping it like it's a hot tea or something.
Looks at the turtle T-posing at the entrance.
Yeah, that's fair. I forgot to move him. He would be at the end of the bar.
Leif's just over there sitting, going, "I feel like I'm pretty normal. I don't understand."
Honestly, Leif is the most
Oh,
normal out of all of us.
Leif
Of the
says
group.
that. Leif says that, and the bartender is just watching as he's dunking this fish in his ale, and like, yep,
Stirring it with
right,
it.
right,
Right, like a normal person.
right, exactly.
Well, if we were going to be rated on the scale, he probably would be the most normal of us. Carol will raise a drink to the dumb bitches who thought they could do something. And she'll shotgun it.
The
They fucked around and they found out.
Virtuoso joins you, and he's like, to being able to play music for Valkyries. He also sips.
I'll raise one of my cups while drinking the other cup, and then amongst finishing
Gargling,
the first one,
gargling
yeah,
through the mead or whatever is in it.
yeah,
Actually,
amongst
the ale, I
finishing
guess.
the first one, I go to fighting, and then I start drinking the second one.
Yeah. Okay.
Turned around. Anything to add, both of you?
To being able to show up deities in their own face.
I just raised the
Garrett.
cup and then go back to drinking.
Good enough.
So while you all are doing that, the virtuoso eventually he actually stands up and he walks over to Leif. He taps you on the shoulder, and then he points over at the greatsword, and he says, "Can I have a word with her? There's something that's been on my mind since last time.
You talk to swords, do you?
I mean, she spoke to me first."
I'll respect that. I'll take the sword out and give it to him.
Yeah, he takes it with a gentle hand, and he walks over towards the fireplace, and he just kind of leans against the hearth. Just kind of sits on it a little, and he just like gently leans the sword kind of along his lap, but also kind of in a way that it looks like, he's almost warming it by the fireside, and he just sits there for a while.
I look at the bartender and I put 2 fingers out, 2 more, and I turn around so my back's at the bar so I can just watch him over there with it.
Yeah, so you're asking the bartender for more drinks, I'm assuming, but yeah, he brings him over. No problem. And yeah, the virtuoso just seems to sit there. He's not really doing anything untoward. He's not putting the sword near the fire or anything like that. He just seems to be looking at it and just holding it. Con save.
I'm gonna give.
Uh-oh.
Determining something. How drunk?
Okay.
I mean, if we're trying to drink, man, I mean, we can drink, but
Yeah, Leif needs to do
No,
4 con saves.
That's a
right now.
Kara thing. That's a Kara thing because, as I've said previously to Rick, I fail all my saving throws, and I'm just testing the water with it.
He's trying to see what sort of a night's gonna be. Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna give the virtuoso like a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna walk over there.
Oh, hello. Did you wanna join us?
What did she have to say?
Oh, a lot. Very talkative, this one.
She doesn't like talking to me.
And like he kind of stops. He very clearly seems to be not in thought, but I guess you know the sword well enough at this point that you can tell it must be saying something to him. And he says, "Oh, disciple, I get it. Still there? Okay, I got it. Yeah, no, you'll get there. I believe in you." And he like kind of gently taps your forearm since he's sitting down. He can't reach up too high, but it's like supposed to be kind of like an encouraging tap.
She keeps telling me she wants to see a feat of strength.
Oh no, that's not at all what she wants to see.
You meant strong feet.
Yeah, all I have to do is take my boots off for that.
Well, that's good. I started to question myself because I feel like I showed her many strengths of feet, or feats of strength.
Yeah. He pauses again, listening. Well, I'm not exactly there to tell you, but she does say she's. I mean, actually, I kind of yeah. She's told you a couple times. You just don't seem to be picking up on it. He scratches his head a little. Can I continue talking with her for a minute? I'll figure out something.
Carry on.
And so then he goes back to just holding the sword next to the fire and just like staring at it again.
Kara with her back to the bar. Well, dealt with my crazy ass family for a little bit. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Good shout.
I honestly thought you were going to be like, well, that was my crazy ass family. Who's next on the chopping block? Looks at Mallow. I was going to be like, Hex burst through the door.
No. He'd be in the
Surprise
cup.
it.
Yeah. The problem is he's the bartender if the Hex is here.
Oh, yeah.
well,
All of your drinks are already poisoned. You're already dead.
Exactly.
Joke's on you. I get
The reason Mallow's in the corner, which you don't realize, is he's like, as soon as he walked through the door, the Hex had already snapped his neck, took his place, and now he's just like sitting, watching, waiting for you all to die.
He's just put the body in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. He shapeshifted into the mug of ale. He's just...
Yeah.
The dude's not quite that fanatical.
Hex is really just a glorified mimic. Yes.
Yeah, it could be. No, sadly, he cannot quite contort into smaller shapes than himself like that. So that would be, I think, a little too ridiculous.
I would argue that most things are smaller than himself.
I would not, but I know the character better.
his lanky, large-sized form was just hyperextension.
Okay, fair.
So that's not necessarily true.
Because, you know, I kind of
I
imagine
definitely
him as this,
described it
like,
correct when I said it was
large blob.
big. Yeah, that was how it was described. Yeah,
And so, as a large creature, you know,
that's how it was described. You are correct. One day, I promise you, everything will make sense. Oh God. Regardless, Kara has gone up to sleep. Anything else anyone else wants to do before bed?
No, I'm gonna go upstairs and take a look at all this stuff that I picked up and see if there's anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Interesting
guess that would.
about it.
I'm not expecting Rhoda's axe to be magical of any kind, but I would sit there and focus on it.
Okay.
I would simply, I mean, I'll stay up for a little bit, not necessarily here, probably in my, or like our shared room. I don't know how the configuration is here. But,
Yeah.
Oh no,
it'd just be-
Mallow's
it'd be,
pillow fort is still in place. I
Yeah.
think the room
I don't think
is
he.
still.
Well, to be fair, he never got a chance to start it, but he can do that still now. Regardless, it would just be a room with multiple beds, probably six.
Bunch of beds, yeah, okay.
Probably 6 beds just to keep it even, but you guys are using 5 of them.
yeah. I mean, I'd just be polishing my hammer and essentially just giving it a short lecture on why we don't trust deities and why they should fight their own fights instead of taking the credit for something they haven't done.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. So Mallow, you would find nothing too special about those items. Yeah. So there's nothing special about those. I will tell you. I finally can tell you. However, now that you guys have relaxed and are here, you suddenly feel yourselves strengthened to the tune of 1,150 experience for that fight.
Woo!
So there's that for you finally.
Yeah. Pretty good.
You said 1150.
1150, yes sir. Let you all add that, and then you guys can all do your long rest, hit your buttons, and get all those spells that we've used in that fight back and all that. Good jazz. And you would find yourselves awakening. Technically, the long rest puts you exactly at 5 a.m. the next day. If you guys want to call it a couple hours later, it's your call. I don't know how you want to play it, but I don't know if people would sleep in after that event.
Before I go to bed, I'd like to just use my last spell slot to cast Find Steed outside, and then just like leave the steed out.
Yeah, that's no problem. You wanted a giant bat, correct?
No. I'll
Change it up.
take in this situation. I think I'll just take an elk.
And I'm assuming it's size large.
Yes, yeah.
Elk. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. And I'll try and turn that into something you can actually like grab and put on page later, but I'll just pop it out for now.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. So then, with that, you all get your long rest. Like I said, I don't know if you all want to spend a little extra time. Call it like 6 or 7 when you actually get up and come down here, so you can get breakfast at the bar or whatever. But however you want to handle it, just let me know.
I'll just get up whenever everybody else does. So
No, I'm good on that. I was just hanging out until the virtuoso was giving me my sword back and going to bed. So
Ah, yes, that's fair. He only takes another couple minutes before he returns it to you, and then you can head up.
5 sounds good to me.
Alrighty. So Leif's up at 5 a.m. Mallow would definitely, you'd feel him kind of moving around in the room, and you'd wake up as well. Anyone else want to wake up with Leif?
I mean, I already went up, so.
No, not go upstairs. I'm talking about waking up in the next morning.
Oh.
Leif said that he wants to just be up at the end of the long rest, which is 5 a.m. Mallow said that when he sees other people get up, he's getting up. So the two of them are currently up at 5. Anyone else want to join them, or does anyone want to sleep in?
Kara would wait until like another hour past that.
What are you trying to do? What are they trying to do?
They're waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
Kara's sleeping
they're just
in an
waking
hour.
up, straight at the end of the long rest. Kara's sleeping in an hour.
I mean, we're going to bed pretty early, so I think I'd wake up early.
Okay, so you can be up at 5 a.m. with Leif and Mallow if you want.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you guys will all just be kicking around the bar for about an hour before Kara and Pluzak would both kind of come downstairs. At this point, Pluzak would look at all of you guys and actually remove him. Pluzak would look at all of you guys and basically say something to the effect of, I'm glad that we were able to rescue Kara, but I think this is where I've got to stop with you guys for a little bit. I have to dedicate some of my time to my goal if I wish to try and support you in your goal, because only by succeeding in my venture can I truly dedicate my life the same way the rest of you are, but I will try and catch up if for some reason I am able to do such before you guys are able to free this land from its hellish winters. But it is at this point that Pluzak will be separating from the party.
Oh no.
Good luck, safe travels.
Thank
gonna feed
you,
us now.
Kara. I wish you well, and will be back to assist someday. But for the most part, we will remove him from the board.
Oh, no more adrenaline shot mushrooms.
Yes, sir. Not currently.
I never did know how he kept him alive in the cold.
I mean, he also kept himself alive in the cold, which is tough for turtles, so...
Yeah.
He had a space heater inside the shell.
Yeah, exactly. Grafted it onto himself. Wouldn't put it
The
back
built-up
past Pluzak.
greenhouse gases kept him warm.
He's single-handedly destroying the ozone around himself to create a greenhouse effect specifically on his shell. I like it.
Snow would melt and reform around him as he walked.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Regardless, though, then you guys find yourselves awake the next morning. The latest up is Kara at 6 a.m. So you guys can... At that point, the bar is pretty well functioning for the morning. They've probably got some porridge they could serve you if you want.
I'm gonna go check on the dogs and get them ready for our trip north.
I think I'll start fraternizing with Mount, who I've yet to name. I'll think about a name later. But since it's technically an intelligent creature, I can talk to it, and yeah, I mean, I'll just be talking to it about
Who do we lose?
Harrison. Oh, no.
The blue screen!
Oh,
I knew it.
no.
That's right. Oh yeah, I mean, I'll just be telling it about who our party members are, and to try to make itself comfortable, but to assist us when it can.
Absolutely. It would be more than happy to. It would just kind of generally agree, and it would sense something within you and be like, even the one in the cloak?
Especially the one in the cloak.
Fine.
These are my friends, but this is family.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. It is more than happy to do that for you. Anyone else wish to do anything here before you guys head off?
So, I forget what our next objective is.
I believe, as far as I'm aware, Kara wanted to go with... So, part of what you guys discovered, if you remember correctly, while you were at... I think it was specifically the Sky Tower shelter, was that the map location that this tiefling, Dimplechub, had been
Yeah, for
having Kara
the
decipher.
flower, right?
Well, so he's looking for the flower, but he also had Kara decipher a map. And you were told at the Sky Tower shelter, Mace specifically knows this because he was next to Kara when it happened. That location on the map that Kara found that she deciphered for him is the location of the Clan Ruslan village. So Kara basically said, if he's going there and he offered to go with us, let's just go with him. He said he was going to go probably around when we got back to the 10 towns. So
Yeah, okay.
that was the next objective, was to go with them in that direction.
Yeah, okay. The frost jade flower.
Yes, that is also part of the mission that he gave you, but it is separate from
going
the
to this
travel.
location.
Correct, at least as far as you...
Okay, yeah. Then yes, absolutely. I think we're heading in that direction now then. And yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. It's alright. I'll just retroact anything that Mallow might need. But otherwise, we will go from here to your map. So, you guys are currently in East Haven. The location that you're looking to get to is up that red circle. So, Kara, being the navigator that she is, I will let you decide if there's a particular path that you would like to travel over another.
Well, I mean, we make the best time on actual roads, so I'd say head that way, then head that way, and then head that way. I don't know why it curved like that, but it did.
So, I'll just be devil's advocate. I'm pretty sure the amount of roads, like, towards the village is equivalent on either side, right? Because you're either going from Targos up here first, or you're just going from this to up here, right? Because it's the same.
Yeah, but I
it's kind of
figured
the same
it'd be less terrain hazardous to follow a river.
Is it? So, I mean, yeah, we can take a look. So, once you leave Lonely Wood, it's what, probably 55 feet to the actual red circle?
It's
Oh, I'm sorry, not 55. Go from Lonely Wood up to the red circle.
about
So, it's about
20.
the same, right?
Okay.
So, that was kind of more what I was seeing. So, whichever way you want to take is totally fine. It's just, it's kind of the same, is all I meant.
Well, if we go, let's see. So that's 20 to there.
I guess the better question is
That's
just
20
which
to, so
villages
it would
do
be
you wanna,
faster.
It's just
to
which
go
villages
this
do you
way.
want to go through, I think is kind of, or which of the 10 towns you want to visit through is, I think, the better question. Do you want to see
I'm
the
pretty
places
sure
that you've known, or
Koenig and Dinaval don't exist anymore.
you can always find out. It's definitely
That's
something
true.
so.
Well, I figured the path of least resistance, but I'm open to interpretation. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Well, we don't know anything about the terrain we're going to be arriving to, so ultimately, I think it's really up to your discretion.
I guess we'll
We
phrase it this
don't.
way. For all of the players, which are you more curious about? The towns that you have not visited to see what happened to them, or the towns that you have visited to see how they are doing since the dragon attack?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's
That's
a good way to put it.
ugh, darn.
Okay, so my thought process would be to check out the towns we have not visited yet.
Oh, then we'll head through the Cara Dinaval and Koenig route, and then swing a left.
All right, just for the sake of fairness, anyone else? Actually, Mallo's not back yet, but you have any
Yeah,
opinion, Leif?
No, I'm good with that.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
All right, so we'll just wait for him to come back.
Grab a drink then in the meantime. Back in a minute.
Absolutely. I might also run upstairs since we got a window, but I gotta just set something up quick. Yeah, I'll be right back as well. We'll wait for Mallow.
Oh my god, he has returned.
I was very tempted to just reset my PC right now because it's fucking pissing me off.
Reset it like entirely.
Yeah.
Wow. You must not really care about whatever is in there.
It's just games. There's old school stuff, but like that's it.
Swap laundry. Oh, everybody's gone.
I'm back. I missed anything important?
No. No, not as far as I know.
No. All you missed is us discussing which route we were going to go.
Okay.
All right, then. Is everyone back?
Here.
I think all of us.
Pretty sure we're all here.
Oh yeah.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so before we all stood up and took the break, I believe what was said was that we were going to be going the route of Caer Dinevel and Caer Konig. So that is exactly what we will do. So you guys climb on your dog sleds, and Mace on his new mount. Your friends Dimple and the Virtuoso find seats among the dog sleds, and you pretty much just head off. The travel is uneventful. You guys kind of know that these roads of the 10 towns are pretty safe and pretty well traveled, so it's not too hard to keep your way. But as you finally start to kind of approach the next town, Caer Dinevel, as it comes into sight, you find that pretty much everything is destroyed. You did hear rumors as to such, but seeing it in person kind of leaves you to believe that the destruction might have not even been as well described as what you're seeing. The buildings are all pretty much destroyed, and anything that is left standing seems pretty structurally unsafe. And from what you can kind of tell, nothing habitable really remains. Um, as you kind of approach, though, you do notice that there is some movement among the rubble. There's kind of, sounds of things being shuffled or dragged, little footsteps here and there, and the occasional glimpse of some movement among the shadows.
But there are still people.
You're definitely seeing movement, but you don't know what it is.
Are you saying they're not quite people?
I mean, so I guess you just have to do like a perception check to see what it is.
Sure, yeah. S- uh,
And with Natural Explorer double proficiency, that puts me up to a 12.
which is impressive.
Agreed. Yeah. Anyone else want to roll as well, or just those two?
What are we rolling for?
Perception checks.
Just to see what we see.
20.
Awesome. And you, Leif?
Oh, I clicked it. Sorry, it sent it straight to you. I'll do it again. It was a 12 though.
Oh, yep. Okay. Sorry. Nope. I see it here. It was on the other screen for me.
I didn't know. I still had GM clicked.
Oh, it's not an issue. It's never an issue. Okay. Just I didn't see it. Regardless. Okay. So Mace and Mallow most certainly see this. Kara and Leif, you don't quite make out as much detail, but you see movement as well. But for the most part, what you would notice is there's figures moving among the rubble and the wreckage, and they are in what look to be black cloaks and are gathering materials, as far as you can tell.
Not again.
Okay, okay. Not they don't quite look the same as like Mallow's old cloak. No, it's a bit different here. And I will also add with those perception checks, you would notice that the care in the distance does not look as destroyed as the town. In fact, it still looks totally fine.
Okay. Um,
Oh no,
I guess
was
I would
muted for a
just
whole bunch of
talk
that. Oh no.
to the
Okay.
rest of the group. Not so much like whisper, but I guess mutter. Are these survivors or scavengers?
Part of me thinks they're one and the same.
Well, they must at least be living off of something, right? I mean, lake's still frozen, and I don't imagine the boat survived the attack either.
We're passing through. We can check if you want.
Uh, honestly, the more time we waste doing such things, the more time we spend away from ridding everyone from oral. So,
How about this then? We carry on. If someone approaches us for help, we stop.
fair enough.
Okay. So you guys would make your way along the road to the north, essentially. As you pass by most of the wreckage, any of the things that you see moving in the shadows, the people, they seem to either grow still or try and move out of sight as you approach. They seem to just be trying to avoid you. Do you guys want to just continue on out of town?
No, they're not look. They're not calling out to us for help or anything. So
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyone else? Just want to make sure we get everyone's opinion.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, I'm good with that. If they're not yelling at us or trying to instigate anything.
I'm just gonna stare at them through my mask and just keep an eye on them.
Oh, Mal's got his mask back on. You
I
guys
was
okay
gonna
with
say.
that?
I thought you gave your mask.
I thought he made a
Mine-
new one.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he ever complete that? Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah.
I remember the conversation happening. It was asked if he could just recarve his own mask, and then it kind of dissipated after a certain point because that was when it was learned that his mask was made of stone and had yet never broken, and people didn't follow any train of thought from there. It was quite amazing. Regardless, well, actually, that's not fair. You guys did at least use that to note it was magical, but yeah. So I guess with that, everybody, we head back past the village. We'll go back to the map for a moment, just to look back at where you're going.
We have
So
two passengers with us, right? Or is it
yes.
just us going?
So specifically, as you're traveling, so this is not going to take you very long. Let me see. From East Haven to Caer Konig, or Caer Dinemil, I mean, is about 4.5 hours for you guys. And then from Caer Dinemil to Caer Konig is another 1 hour. That's all. So, it's doable in a day, I'm assuming. And then at that point, in Caer Konig, you guys can decide to either go out into the wastes and then rest there on your trip, or you can decide to rest there first before leaving. But, so it's going to be about 5.5 hours total to get to Caer Konig. You were at the 4.5 hour mark. I don't remember what started the question on that, but hopefully that answered it.
My only question was if we were heavy with passengers.
Yes, sorry, thank you. So, what was happening in that regard is you guys are currently just traveling with, so 3 of you are driving currently. On one of the 3 sleds is, one of you and another teammate. And then on the 2 other sleds, one of them would have Dimple and one of them would have the Virtuoso as passengers. That was what I was trying to get to. So they are currently with you guys in that regard, just on this trip up to Caer Konig at a minimum.
Don't forget I'm on my own mount, so I can also
Oh,
like
that's
have
right.
someone
I did
with me.
forget that. So you would essentially you would have been the 4th, so there's just an empty seat.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so then you take up and head up to Caer Konig. In which case, the Ballad of Ravenous Galesmith comes to a close, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
That was the castle that if you guys had wanted to figure out what happened, that's where you would have had to go.
Well,
The party will never know, I guess.
missed opportunity.
The player me knew that.
I
But
was not going to stop you. That's why I was hemming and hawing about it, but you guys decided to go
I
back.
100% did not, and at this point it was like, well, even at this point I'm just thinking, even if there,
the issue is we didn't know. Like,
Well-
for all we know, he went somewhere. We don't know he actually went there.
Right.
I
But
just
think,
have to figure
let's be real,
that
though. I that was the only way I could, like, that was probably the perfect setup for the party to investigate if they ever were going to, though, because the town is destroyed, but the castle walls are intact. So it tells you that whatever was in the castle probably survived, but it didn't matter to you guys, so you just continued on, which is
no,
fine.
because they were doing okay. So
Yeah.
it's also a matter of, to me at least, the thought process is, even if there is a body that hasn't been picked up by animals, the dragon probably, cremated it before we could do anything.
But it doesn't mean that you couldn't have at least seen if people were still alive that might have seen him in town and let the party at least know what happened. That's all I'm saying. It was that was the most organic way that the party could have potentially found out or gone to that location, and it's kind of gone now. So
not
I feel
dissatisfied. I just think it's really funny.
Exactly. I'm laughing at it as well. I just think it's I just wanted to point out that that's probably the only time it would happen, and it's gone now. So okay, so.
It disappeared like he did, without a word.
But
True, I guess. In the most technical and literal of regards. Okay, so you guys would pull up towards Caer Konig, and in this case, you would. I am on the wrong page. You would mostly see white snow-covered slopes that kind of loom large behind this quiet lakeside town. But for the most part, all of the buildings, all of the liveliness seems more untouched than any other village or town in terms of relation to the dragon. You see no signs of any damage, and most of the people here seem to be living their lives as if it had never happened.
What did this town specialize on?
They were a fishing town at one point. You see there's a harbor. With the harbor frozen, they go out into the ice to try and fish, but it's not as much as normal.
Mm-hmm.
There is also actually a fair amount of commerce driven by adventurers. This town, as you kind of pull into it, a lot of people would greet you in the streets. They wouldn't actually greet you by any names that you are known by in the other 10 towns. They would simply hail you as, hey, adventurers! Hey, hail, adventurers! How are things in the other 10 towns, adventurers?
Caer
There's...
Konig?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Caer Denival's gone.
Oh, we're aware. But, yeah, thank you for telling us. We traded with them plenty, and that stopped. when the dragon happened, so, you know, no surprise.
How are you all non-damaged?
The
I guess.
heroes! There were heroes that saved us, 2 of them.
2 of them.
Yeah, they stopped the dragon before it even came to the village. It was really crazy. They sprinted outside when it was on the horizon, and before it could even swoop down upon us, they had already somehow managed to fight it off.
What
Did
did
you
these
by chance
two-
catch their names?
I didn't, but I mean, they kicked around. They were adventurers. I mean, they would have gone to some of the shops adventurers go to and stuff.
Huh. Where would they have stayed?
I mean, at the inn. Hold on, and I will tell you. There is an inn. Time to get my circles going again. There is an inn over here. He would point you to. He would tell you it's called the Northern Light. And he would say to look for the magic lantern that hangs above the door. It changes colors. It shifts in color between, I think it's red, green, and blue. Can't find it quick enough, but yeah, something like that.
Was there anything particular that stood out about this pair that defeated the dragon?
Again, I didn't meet them. They were the heroes, the saviors. I know it was 2 of them. That's the story.
Did you see what they look like?
I didn't see that. Okay. You're one of those crew of adventurers. Alright, any of you spellcasters?
I dabble.
We can handle magic.
God,
Leif
dabble
just looks
works.
around
We
and
can
then
handle
at
it.
his
Okay, we
hands.
being you and the armor? Who's the we here?
I said I dabble, not we.
No, I know. Mace said we.
Yeah. I can deal with some magic as well.
Okay, so he looks directly at you. I didn't see them. Okay? No one else seems to understand that in your party.
Yeah,
Well,
all
fuck
right.
you, I was the first one to ask.
But you didn't seem to understand, okay? And you only dabble.
No. I asked, and I didn't repeat the. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to fucking end.
All right. Well, how's business then?
I mean, it's not been great since the dragon, but, you know, we still got fish to eat. We still got life going on.
It's always good to have fish.
Amen, brother.
Fish is life.
So Kara leads her dog sled, which Dimple would have absolutely been like, shotgun on the girls' cart. And of course, as he approached, all the dogs would growl at him, but he'd eventually find his way on.
Harry particularly took the rearmost spot just so we could stare at him the entire time.
Yeah, the lead dog was actually like, girl, switch me. He's like already chewed through his harness. He's just staying in position the entire time, waiting. He turns around, I turn around. Regardless, the 2 of you make your way over. We're going to say, Mace, you're on your elk, so you can follow if you want. And then Leif and Mallow, you guys are controlling the other carts, so you guys can determine if you want to go to other places. I will tell you, as you go to leave, Mace, since, you know, the guy seemed to be talking to you, he will be like, just so you know, that's not the only stuff in town. We got a couple other places they could have, I guess, gone. There's this adventuring place. You get adventuring gear called Frozen Far Expeditions, and then he'll point out where that is as well, and that is right over here. And he looks at the dogs as well, the sled dogs, and he basically tells you that the place next door is kind of like a sled dog caretaker guy. He can help if you need gear. So, you know, just whatever you need.
All right. Thank you for the information.
And Leif, as you pass, he kind of smells the fish and liquor on you, and he tells you, hey, just you see in the type, there's a tavern. The inn doesn't really serve alcohol. The tavern's this way, and he just like points up the road a different, sort of not this different direction from the inn, but to a different location, and it should be this one here.
Oh, perfect.
And so as you guys approach, Kara, specifically you would be the first to see this, but as you approach the Northern Light, there's actually a dragonborn who is kind of leaning against the door. He has a bottle of liquor in one hand and some pretty stern eyes. And as you guys approach, he kind of just gives you a pretty keen stare down. And then, much like the rest of the townsfolk, just, "Hail, adventurer.
Hail, sir.
I'm just gonna be straightforward with you. I'm kind of the one that's supposed to protect this town, so please don't fuck it up. I don't want to fuck you up. I mean, yeah, never mind."
I
Takes another
understand what
swig.
you're implying. We heard rumors that a pair of heroes fought off the dragon here.
Yep, they did. Pretty cool guys. They also,
Can you-
got that back. And he thumbs upward to, above the door, you would see a lantern, much like what the townsfolk described to you. It just looks like any, kind of hand lantern. It's got a ring on it, but it's hanging from this open mouth of like an eagle-headed wooden structure on top of the door. And the light in it doesn't seem to be any normal color. It changes between red and blue and green.
Funny. I guess that's why it's the Northern Lights. It's supposed to,
Yeah, I mean, it's an old family heirloom. That's the word. Swigs again. Yep, that's gonna help the memory, I promise. But yeah, they named it after it, I guess. I just drink and protect the place. Not here, the town.
So about the two
This specific
individuals.
location.
Oh, he scratches the back of his head, and then he kind of looks at the bottle. it'll help my memory eventually. Yeah, you want their names, right? And I don't remember them. So I can tell you they're cool people. These two guys. The sisters can tell you more. They spent more time with them. And he points at the inn.
Duly noted. Good luck with your watch, and you're got about a fourth of your bottle left. You may want to
Yeah,
nurse it.
but I can get another one just over there. And he kind of haphazardly points towards the tavern.
Well, not one to tell you how to do your job. Good luck, sir.
I've been doing it this way for years, Missy, and it's still working, I think.
And with that, Kara will undo the sled dogs and find a spot for them to rest, and then head into the tavern, or not the tavern, the inn.
Yep. Okay. So we'll just say that there's plenty of room out to the northwestish.
Mhm.
So you just go find a spot, park them, and somewhere next to the buildings, or in between the buildings. Really makes the most sense, out of the wind and shit. And
We're just
yeah, you
I'm
can
just
walk
following behind. If I'm driving the other sled, then I'm just following behind.
yeah,
unless
that's
it's
fine. You can
Leif.
park them right next to the others, and Leif, if you want to do the same, that's fine. Unless you wanted to go to the tavern first.
Well, I guess I'd see what everybody else is doing, and since I'd noticed there's a man with a bottle of liquor outside, I definitely would ask for a
Yeah.
taste.
A taste. He would not give you any of his liquor, but hey, there's bars right over there. Just turn around behind you. He, basically it's the same building that you were showed before by the other villager, and yeah, I mean you all would park the dog sleds without issue. So, Kara, you're going in. Anyone else following her?
To the inn?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow.
Was I there during the whole interaction with Kara and this dragonborn?
If you had been following the whole time, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. Okay. I actually want to go to the tavern.
That's fine. Feel free. Do you tell anyone in the party?
Yeah, I mean, like, whoever's standing, if Mal is standing next to me, I'll just say that I'll be right back. I'm just trying to go there.
The dog.
Yeah, I'm trying to go and get two bottles of some sort of liquor.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then come
so-
back.
So here's what we'll do. We'll let you go to the tavern first, since that should be pretty easy. So you open the door, and let me just do actually some time math quick, because this is, what did we say, 5 hours, 5.5 hours of travel out late.
You said 5.
I think it was 5.5, 4.5 for the first one, and then another hour, right? So let me just make sure. So you guys are actually still relatively early in the morning. It's about 11 a.m.
Well, I mean,
So you walk in at 11 a.m. So I just had to check because there's an event later in the day at the tavern. You walk in, Blake, or Leif, I should say, and you would see just a bartender behind the counter. He looks human at first glance, with his back turned to you, but when he hears the doors open and he turns, you would see that his ears are kind of pointed, not enough to be a normal elf, but you would assume a half elf. Pretty much as you walk in, he's cleaning glasses and stuff, and he just, oh, sorry, do you need something? The people are usually not here this early.
Oh yeah, the guy you got that's protecting the town.
Oh, Travis? Yeah. What about him?
He drinks here, right?
He gets bottles from me, especially during the day, being the alcoholic he is. I try and always make sure to give him enough to... He's able to get through the day, but not so much as to actually truly inebriate him.
Is there any way I could get 2 bottles of that which he is consuming?
Yeah, I mean, no problem. Just a couple gold, 3 gold.
That's fine.
Yeah, so he gives you the bottles.
You guys seen any the 2 adventurers that came through? Did they stop in here?
Yeah, I mean, not particularly. One of them did for a moment, but he said drinking was not his thing, and the other one I never really saw.
The one that came in, what did he look like?
How tall are you?
Oh, geez, I think I'm like 6'8" or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so he's well, nowhere near as tall as you. Nor as built. Dressed in heavier robes, less armor. Fine gentleman. Didn't like talking much. I just didn't really hear much from him, I should say. Like I said, he kind of left when he realized that we're just a tavern. He can get food at the inn and all that, so he did.
And you said his other...
So he didn't buy anything?
Oh, no. Well, actually, Mace is not there to ask that question.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So he just stopped in, saw you were serving alcohol, and left.
Yes, well, okay. Yeah, so it's a little bit easier than that, even. I have this thing. He kind of points over. There's actually what you would see, especially being a experienced tavern goer, as Leif is. He has, like, pretty typical, mugs for ale and stuff like that. But there's actually these smaller glasses lined up on the far end of, like, where the glasses are behind the bar. And as he points to them, he says, so we have this thing, this tradition, where I have those filled, and I usually stand by the door, or at least closer to it, while someone works the bar. And when people walk in, I give them a drink, the hook, as it were. And then that usually gets them ordering a couple more, which we refer to as the line in this establishment. And then once the last call of night goes, and that usually leads to a drinking contest, we end up with people who pass out, and those are the sinkers. We are the hook, line, and sinker. And you recognize that is what the villager had told you this place is called. And he kind of, gives you a little wry grin.
Smiling, I say, you guys do a drinking competition every night?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, of course. Good for business. You still have to pay for your drinks at that point. The only free ones are the small ones at the door.
Not a problem. Well, then just the two bottles.
Why are your pants wet, sir?
just the 2 bottles and a hook, if I may.
He grins at you, and he walks over and grabs one of the small glasses that are already clean. And he fills it pretty quick out of a keg, and he just slides it across the bar to you. It stops almost perfectly in front of you. He says, but, you might have to come late enough for me to not remember your face if you want another one of those. Usually it's only 1 per patron.
No, not a problem.
Yes, it's perfectly serviceable ale. If anything, it might be a little better than some other places, seeing as this town is in good condition and their homebrews and stuff, being so far away from good mead to begin with, were already pretty efficient. So they're not hurting for good ale.
Yeah, I just pay for the bottles and
Yeah,
tell
absolutely.
him that
Just take 3 gold out of your inventory. You're good to go on that.
Yep.
In that case, we will do whatever the rest of you are doing, and I'll let you know, Leif, when you come in, depending on how much is happening there. So the rest of you would walk into the inn. So when you walk in, you would also... So there's plenty of tables and stuff on the first floor. You can tell that there's kind of a serviceable restaurant here, but there's not so much a bar. There's a door that leads to a back room, and kind of cleaning the tables and just walking around doing menial tasks is just a woman, a human woman. Seems like any typical commoner. She notices you open the door, of course, Kara, and she just calls out, oh yeah, sorry, food's not quite ready yet, but if you want to sit at a table, I can serve it as soon as it's good.
Um, not to trouble you for that. I do have a few questions, though, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I guess. So, can I work still? You mind?
Not a problem.
Awesome. Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
We were checking on the state of the towns out here with the dragon attack. We saw Caer Dineval. We didn't expect Caer Conic to be standing.
Okay, so yeah, she would simply tell you, oh yeah, we had these two saviors, these two heroes, adventurers.
I
that
gotta
were-
answer the phone.
Okay, no problem. I will wait for you. Interruption after interruption. What is this?
Well, now's a great time to talk about our sponsors.
Yeah. I can't do the Raid Shadow Legends bit again. I already did that last week.
I know.
What's another good one? It's like, what's the name of that? I'll
Surfshark?
use the other one. Surfshark is a good one, but I was gonna do one of the meal kit ones, but I couldn't remember the name of any of them fast enough. Be like, but if you're hungry, watch me follow the step-by-step instructions from this Blue Apron, brought to us by our sponsor.
Oh my god, Blue Apron, yeah.
Right, like,
What we got?
Thankfully, this town was saved by the noble actions of our new protagonist, who comes directly from Honkai Star Rail.
yes, there you go.
Carry on.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, saviors. There were two of them. They're heroes. They were adventurers. They were just in the town for their own reasons. It's actually funny. I don't think they even were necessarily like a squad or a guild, a group. What do you call yourselves? A team?
We're just a motley crew.
They were not a motley crew before coming here, I think. But they, I guess, had similar goals and teamed up or something. And then the dragon was coming, and I don't know. They saved us. They ran out of the town when it was on the horizon, and then they came back and told us that it was not coming. They had scared it off somehow.
Well, the dragon is dead, so there's that.
Yes, we heard. The good news had come to us from East Haven. But, at that point it didn't really matter to us, I gotta tell you. We were through the storm.
Can you tell us anything more about those two individuals? What they look like, what they were dressed in?
Yeah, both of them wore, like these really thick, heavy robes, like they could, last through the winter. One of them had like this kind of necklace thing on, these balls, not like rosary beads, they were a little bigger, and then the other one, well, hold on, and she just whistles, and she's like, "Hey, Corey, get your ass out here!" And her sister comes out from the back. "Shut the fuck up, Allie. What do you need? I'm cleaning the kitchen. I know that today was supposed to be your day, but someone said that she was busy this morning, so I had to start on it for guests. We have guests. Hi. Why the fuck did you call me out?" And her sister's like, "'Cause they want to know about your dreamy love boat." And her sister just scowls at her. "She's talking about one of the heroes. I had a crush on him when he was here. He was a nice gentleman." "What do you want to know?"
We're interested in... Well, I'm interested in who they were, if they were able to fight off a dragon.
"Yes, well, I mean, what do you want to know?"
Names, maybe, if you know them. Descriptions, what they look like, if they said where they were going.
He never told me his name, oddly enough, but, he was always such a nice gentleman. And, I mean, every time that I tried to, wait on him or kind of made an advancement, he was always so polite about dealing with it, and I could tell that he was kind of into me, but was a little embarrassed. It was really cute. The other guy he was with, I can't say his name. It was very tough. He let me call him Kai.
Okay.
Any of that ring a bell to you?
Not a one. About my height, maybe? A little shorter, taller?
Oh, they were, well, how tall is Kara? 6 feet.
Kara is 6'1".
Well, I think, so one of them was a little shorter than you, and the other one was about your height.
Okay. And then I know your sister said they wore robes, but did they carry weapons? Or they look like travelers, merchants?
One did not carry a weapon. The other Well, actually, and she points over to um, Mallow. One carried a staff similar to that one, the one I liked.
Well, that's
Like-
not good.
Like, it looks as gruesome as Mallow's
Oh,
does?
no, I'm
or...
sorry. It was a stick that looked like that length, kind of almost as long as the body. Just stick.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. We'll
They-
keep an eye out for them then.
You don't intend to harm them, right? I mean, they're very nice
Not at all.
people. They got our lantern back. It was stolen
Not-
by some filthy Duergar, and yeah, they got it back before even saving us from the dragon. So before, like, I liked him before it was even cool. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. No, no ill will intended. Though if they are as fierce combatants has been described, we definitely have a proposition for them.
Oh, they're long gone, girl. I'm not even sure where they went.
I
Not
assumed
even a
as much.
cardinal direction.
Honestly, even if I could tell you, it's been a very long time. And let me just look at my timetable quick. Un momento.
Well, we're looking at least 8 to 10 days.
Yeah, I'm just trying
Probably
to check.
more.
More. So you guys are officially on day 30 now. So I actually could call 12 days ago. They would have left about 12, actually more than 12 days ago. Somewhere between 12 and 13.
Well, we'll keep an eye out. Thank you for the information.
Absolutely, but like I said, just please don't hurt them if you see them. Like I don't really know you,
Not-
but I knew them, so
Well, we're the ones that killed the dragon.
you looks at her sister. Her sister shrugs. Well, thank you, I guess. Never really was a threat to us, but still great to know for the 10 towns, or to hear for the 10 towns.
Yeah, well, it kind of worked how it had to, so we're glad to help.
I mean, you guys are adventurers, right? So, I guess just if you tell the guy at the Frozen Fire Expedition, he probably will give you like a discount or something for saving everybody.
Well, that would be generous of them, but we're stopping here before traveling further north.
Oh, you'll definitely want to stop over there then. He actually has lots of knowledge of that direction, at least anything towards the Calvin's Cairn, I believe.
That could be useful then. I appreciate the tip. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Are you leaving? You want to stay here? I mean, that was kind of a weird way to end that conversation.
Well, to be honest, we weren't expecting to find a town.
But East Haven knows we're here.
They didn't tell us.
Did you even ask?
We
At
asked
this
about
point-
the condition.
at-
We asked about the conditions up north. They said at least Caer Denival was gone, and they didn't know about Caer Conic.
Oh, that's true, because I think that was before you guys returned.
Yep.
Yeah. At that point, the tiefling would step forward and just... That is because, my girl, you did not ask once of returning. We have, of course, heard news of them while you were away. And you could see both the sisters just immediately glare at him. Like, can he stay outside? I have ears, you know, and a soul and heart.
I could make a soulless tiefling joke here, but that'd be beneath me. Okay, we'll just consolingly pat Dimple on the shoulder and just be like, you know what I was going to say about that, but you've made your choice.
He tries to like lovingly rest a hand on yours while it's on his shoulder, and I'm sure you like slip your hand away before he can.
Yep.
It's just like sweaty hands.
So I'm gonna need you to do a sleight of hand check.
I know he's going to go for the grab. It's just one of those things where, even if he does grab it, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, you know what the answer. Oh, he ain't touching
Oh,
the hand.
so here's the funny thing. Here's what's gonna happen. You go to pull away, and you feel like, yeah, I got this, and he slips his fingers through yours, and he like goes to pull your hand back down onto his shoulder, and you just barely manage to like twist his fingers enough that he doesn't want to scream out in pain, so he just lets go before it gets too hard.
Did he roll a 23 as well?
He rolled a 25 total, but you roll a crit, so I'm just gonna you lost, but somehow still made it out because crit. So we'll just give it to you. It's nothing important anyway. It's just character.
Yeah,
character, so.
I got you.
He's very disappointed and kind of surprised at the fact that you got away, but he's also like, yeah, she would have probably broke my fucking fingers. So
just internally, you're right. Kara would look to the sisters and just like, information didn't get to us when we came back into town because we just left immediately. So, well, lack of gossip on our part, I
could have
suppose.
asked me, but I guess I'm not worth your time.
You were asleep.
I was in your dog's. You know what? Never mind.
Anyway, gonna go talk to that expedition manager.
In that case, we will secure the rooms.
I mean, that's if we stay. It's still early in the day.
He's gonna just kind of
Let me have
raise
something.
no, he raises an eyebrow at you, and he just. You sure you do not wish to look at the map again?
If this is a thought of you don't want to sleep outdoors for a night, then
He's nodding already.
Kara just shrugs. Bring a blanket.
He's like, sighs and just. Well, if that is your choice, it's better to travel with you than without. I will at least prepare myself for a longer journey. Do you have a room in the back I could use, like a restroom or something? And the girls just like quickly shoo him towards the restrooms, just wanting him to not talk anymore.
I don't get the voice. I really don't. And Kara will just head towards the expedition place.
Yep. Okay. So you guys go up towards Frozen Far Expeditions. Who's following along with Kara, just so I know who's there for the conversation?
I'll go.
I mean, again,
Leif,
if
you
anybody
definitely. I'm
has
sorry, I
anything to
totally
do.
forgot to mention. You probably would have walked in, about when Dimble started speaking at a minimum. So you would definitely know that that's where Kara's heading if you want to join her.
Yeah, I could do that. The only thing I wanted to do on the way was give the guy a bottle of that, and then just tell him that I hope to see him at the tavern tonight.
Oh, the Dragonborn? Very cool. Okay, yeah. So as you pass him, so we'll do it this way. Since you don't, you're gonna go talk to him for a second. You head over in his direction before heading into the inn. So you walk over and you give him the bottle, and he's like, "Oh, thank you. Not what I ever expected. Usually I have to pay for my own. Cheers. Yeah, I will definitely see you at the drinking competition tonight. I mean, that's how I get to sleep, man."
I understand. I understand completely.
Yeah, he just raises his last swig in his previous bottle for cheers with you, and then drinks it down if you do so.
Yeah, I would like to drink the fuck out of the one that I have as well.
Sure, you can uncork it, take a nice swig, however much you please, and yeah, you kind of cheers with him, and then head on your So it's about that time that you're drinking with him that Kara walks out. She sees you and she's like, "Going to Fresnfire? You want to come with us?"
Yeah, absolutely. Just gotta make it to the tavern tonight.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are.
Oh,
Together,
so we need to stay here for tonight.
I mean, we don't have to
Shit.
stay. I just have to take care of some things there.
Well, I mean, if you're staying to do that at night, it just means we're not leaving immediately. Kara will look to the rest of the group. What do you want to tell the loud one? He gets to sleep in a bed tonight after all.
That's what
Not
I
it.
called it. I'm gonna wait here for him anyway. And that's when you all realize the virtuoso was kind of just silently following.
I mean, Kara will just walk up to him. Thank you. And
It's no problem. I mean, he's my keeper, and I'm kind of his too.
you do a good
I
job.
owe him money.
Oh, thank you. Does Mace say that out loud?
No.
Okay.
And with that, Kara just like, I guess standard protocol. Get some information. Meet at the bar.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So, are you all splitting up then, or are you all going to Frozen Far together? Because
I
get
think
information, meet at the bar to me is like, we're all going somewhere now.
Yeah, it's more so, I guess, a matter of. I think Melo's the only one that hasn't really explicitly where he's going, right?
True. Yes. Is there somewhere you would like to go, Mallow, that's not with the group? You're muted again, I think.
Oh, none of the muted icon next to him.
Yeah, it might just be mic mute. Uh-oh. Another crash. No.
I think that was Claw, not
It
Hair.
was, yes.
Yeah.
Did we lose you, Harrison? Harry soon. Alright, well,
Son of Harry.
we'll just say that he's with you guys so that he can,
Yeah,
talk about
in
whatever.
spirit.
Well, yeah. So that if he comes back and wants to say anything, his character's there for it, I guess.
Okie dokie.
And then you guys can go do anything with him that he wants afterwards if he wanted to do something. So yeah, you guys would, uh-oh. Just a sec, dogs are gonna bark.
It's just someone you know walking into the house where you were sleeping.
Okay. So you guys would go over to Fresnel Expeditions. It's a pretty quaint little shop, definitely large enough first floor, with lots of shelves and gear on hooks on the walls and things like that too. He
Oh.
There it
crashed.
goes.
That would be why. Makes sense. To kind of, feel like it's definitely got enough equipment that you feel like you could very easily kind of plan for an expedition, much to its name. You would notice that there's a human behind the counter. It's a man. And I'm just trying to make sure I hit everything. Next door on your way in, you would, as I mentioned, notice that there are a whole bunch of dog sleds and dog sled equipment and stuff in that little hut thing. And there's someone kind of taking care of the dogs over there that is a dwarf. Yeah. So that's about what you see here. I'm assuming you just walk in?
I mean, it's a shop, so I'm not assuming it's weird to walk through the front door.
No, not at all. That's what I mean. It's just I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if you stopped at the other one to where the sled dog stuff is or anything. But yeah, so then you'd walk in and the human would see you and raise a hand. Hail, how can I assist you?
Was planning to travel into the north somewhat. Was told you were familiar with the territory around the Cairn.
Well, I haven't exactly gone out there myself much in a long while. Age has been catching up with me, but I've done it enough times to know the dangers and have heard plenty of tale of how it's currently holding up from the adventurers, so yeah, I think I could assist.
Wonderful. And without going into stupid detail, Kara would pull out her map and explain the route that they were taking.
Okay, so he would simply say, well, in that case, you'd actually be best to try and avoid the Cairn out there, or sorry, the Kelvin's Cairn out there. As much as the Cairn itself is beautiful, it does contain a host of things that are less than friendly, and well, honestly, the wastes generally have less of a chance of running into them. Now, it does have its own hazards with blizzards, and sometimes there's even dwarves or, pray tell, sometimes giants I've heard wandering around out there, but, it's, as long as you've got yourself a capable set of, dogs or something to run away, it's usually not an issue.
Yeah, we have a rather stout group of sled dogs with us.
Yes, yeah, I mean, as long as it's nothing too fast, you should be fine.
There any settlements out there?
Oh, there was that group of dwarves we
not
made
that
friends
way.
with a while back.
There's not really any dwarven settlements per se out that direction, young lady. At least not that any I've ever been aware of, but there are plenty of mining crews. They usually stay out there with kind of massive tents and these little pop-up, almost nomadic villages, and then they come back with their minings once it's ready, and they forge up. I think they what's it, black iron blades down in Bryn Shander.
Oh yeah, they're the ones who made my arrows.
Oh, hit or miss. I mean, at least the steel they produce is good, and they send a lot of it up, throughout the other 10 towns so that people can use it as they need it as well. So can't complain. But
Their equipment has drastically increased in quality.
can't say the ingots themselves have changed much, but those were never too terrible. But I'll look into maybe picking up some of their weapons and things. And you actually would notice that he really doesn't have much in the way of weapons. It's really like actual, scouting and climbing gear.
Actually, I think Kara still has a piece. Well, for an example, they recently did some work on this, and Kara will present the spear.
Well, yeah, I mean that's better than what they were doing for sure. But I mean you can't really trust everything. You got. It's about the quality control. I'll look into it. Thank you for letting me know.
Well, let's just say the Forge Master has whipped his apprentices into shape.
That's good to hear.
But if this is what we know about the territory north, that'll help us greatly in navigating it. Thank you.
No problem.
When you say creatures and other things like that, do you mean like yetis and such, or
Yes,
worse
you're
thing?
talking about near the Kelvin's Cairn. Yeah, Yetis, definitely lots of them on the mountain. There's Craig cats. There are. I mean, honestly, just dying to the cold up on the mountain is very much a hazard. There were actually some adventurers who went up not too long ago. Only one made it back. One was frozen to death, and the other was eaten by Yeti. So, of the three, I mean, two of them died. One came back. So, one was even a Goliath. Unusual for Goliath to go out there and die.
Goliath went out there to die.
No, not on purpose, but he didn't come back.
What
He
can
was
you
with
tell
the
me
three.
about?
He was with the three. I'm not sure which one he was which way he died, but I just know he was not the one that came back.
Anything in particular about the three that set out?
Give me a second to find where that is. It's actually in a different town.
Oh, it's a different. Okay.
It's a quest from a different town that leads you through here. I just have to find the origination point. Okay. He would be able to tell you. They bought gear at his shop. It was a male Goliath, a female Lightfoot halfling, and a female tiefling. And he doesn't remember any of their names, since they basically only came in once. They got advice like you guys. They bought some gear that he suggested, and then they headed over to the bar, the Hook, Line, and Sinker, on his suggestion, in order to kind of plan the next day's events. You know, they're leaving, and then they took a good night's rest at the inn, and then they just headed out. The only one that returned was, I believe, the halfling. Let me look that up quick.
Well, such is the life of adventurers.
Yes, the halfling is the only one that came back. When he hears you say that, he would also say, or chuckle a little, and yes, such is the life, but it is not for all. That one that made it back, she was lost to adventuring. I doubt she will ever spend another day doing it in her life.
She learned.
No, she was scarred. It's not something I'd wish upon anyone.
Indeed. Kara will quickly peruse some of the items in the shop, but other than that, thank the old man for his information. And
Yeah,
look
he
at-
would at some point have probably, while you're wandering around, he would tell you his name is Atenas. I'll spell it for you. Atenas. Atenas Swift.
ETENAS?
Here, I'm pasting it into Roll20.
a 10 as.
There you go. Atenas.
Oh, NAS.
Yeah, Atenas.
I was like, and AS. I was like, what?
Yeah. Antis. Yeah, okay. Regardless, he would, wish you well. But otherwise, just would suggest the bar for a drink at night, and the inn if you need somewhere to sleep.
Okay. Kara would look to the group and just be like, I guess I'll secure lodgings for our group. I'm sure that our travel companions are squared away themselves.
Yeah.
Then I'll head to the bar.
Yes. Let's meet up at the door again.
So Kara will split away and do that.
Okay.
Ball is in your court.
Yeah. So, sorry, everyone else is heading to the bar.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll say that a couple hours have passed, but it's still going to be only like 3 in the afternoon or so. In terms of, time. you guys just want to hang there? I mean, he'll start serving drinks and stuff early if you really want, but for the most part, the 10 towners, from this town have not
Is
really
this so?
started
This is the
funneling.
further no, like I guess
This
almost
is
northernmost town on this side of the 10 towns, right?
Yes, that is correct. Here, you want me to go back to the map for you?
Oh, no, that's fine. I more or less remember.
I think you might have a handout map as well if you want to just peek at it and figure it out yourself. But yeah,
I think it got.
I shouldn't have
Oh no,
removed it unless
there's
I
a
fucked up.
map date when yeah, I see it.
Okay, it's your call either way. I just figured I'd let you know.
Yeah. Um. So that said, then you'd also avoid the cairn and continue like just northwards, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, he basically. So Kara kind of pointed out the path she'd planned to take, and he basically
Mhm.
said, yep, seems like a smart idea. Avoiding the cairn is better. If you go this way, this is all you have to deal with, and blizzards and these other things. So.
Okay. We've established that everyone, like the two adventurers, were Valkyries that arrived here. Okay. So that being the case is, I guess. Oh, I think unless the virtuoso or not the virtuoso, the dimple is too busy, I would try to ask him. It seems like you're going through a lot of trouble
One question. So were you going with Kara to the inn, or are you going to the bar with everybody? I thought you were going with Leif and.
Oh, I thought it was kind of like one of the same, but
No, so the lower left circle is the tavern, and then the right building is the inn. And the
okay.
inn only has like a restaurant for food.
Well, since I don't consume food, I think I'll go to the inn.
The inn or the tavern?
Or inn, yeah, inn.
Okay, so you go with Kara to the inn then. So Mallow, do you want to go with Leif or do you want to go with Mason Kara at this point?
So Mace's going to the inn, and Leif
With
and Kara are
Kara.
going to the. Okay.
Yeah, and Leif is going to go to the tavern if you want to join him.
Eventually going to end up at the tavern anyway. So
I'll just
Yeah.
go. I'll just go to the tavern and just meditate.
So the two of you go to the tavern. Leif, I'm assuming you probably start drinking early.
Oh yeah.
And then Mallow just kind of grabs like a glass of water and starts meditating in a chair or something on a table. Probably on a table, knowing Mallow. Just like finds the cleanest
Sits
table.
on someone's plate.
He finds the cleanest table. He makes sure to step on the chair, step both feet up on the table, walk around like a dog. So he steps along every part of the top surface that he can, and then he
And then
sits down
plops.
in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Then he starts meditating. Just a glass of water in front of him to drink because he needs. And then
I just stick my finger in it, and it just starts to disappear.
So you two are there. The other two of you go to the inn. Once you're at the inn, you would open the door, and you would actually find that the girls, their demeanor seems much better than when you left. They're kind of giggling, and you would see there's a broom. That's what I'm looking for. That is just kind of magically dancing almost around the room as it's just sweeping up particulate, and every once in a while it kind of like bumps into the girls in kind of a provocative way, and you would just like kind of see both of them, in a joyful but teasing manner, reprimanding this tiefling in the corner of the room, sitting at a table, kind of out of the way, who is constantly joking back and forth with them. However, it looks slightly different from your normal friend Dimple. This tiefling has long black hair, much like Dimple had, but for the most part, it's actually pulled back. The top of it is pulled back into like a ponytail. The rest of it is left long. And it reveals quite a different section of horns from what was kind of visible before, especially considering the kind of golden collars that he had on the horns, bracelets almost, if you want to call them that. And now the horns on his head look actually fairly different, much longer, and while you actually can recognize the shape of what would have been Dimple's horns, these look different enough to kind of throw you off. You would notice his skin is far more red than it was before. It was more of a purple hue initially, and his eyes are a different color. he's also talking in a different cadence and seems to just be kind of more casually joking with these girls as opposed to the kind of big performance, showy bravado sense of before.
Mhm.
I will do this. He's also dressed differently. Where's my... because I'm on the wrong window. On the screen, hopefully, if it does this right. There you go. Something closer to that. Looks more like religious robes almost, Mace, you would say. But yeah. That's what you see instead. And the Virtuoso's there as well, just kind of sipping on something. He's got like a straw in a mug. So I believe, Kara, you wanted to ask him something?
No. I was coming
No,
here to
that was
secure
me, that was me.
lodging.
Yeah, okay then.
Yeah.
So,
No, I
so
did
Mace-
want to ask him. To be honest, it seems that we're going through a lot of trouble for, well, finding out both about the location that you're accompanying us to and all that's really in there. I understand if you don't want to give details, but is sticking your necks out this much really worth it?
Are you asking if the journey to this destination is, what, worth the danger?
More or less, the capital, the investment, the time.
I mean, to me, of course it is. It's your choice whether or not to follow along. At this point, the girl has given me more than enough of a guide. I could probably get there on my own. Granted, much harder, but I don't know. I guess get some dog sleds like you have, and I could probably find my way.
Well, mind you, we don't have any issue helping you. I'm just wondering what would make a man to go to such lengths, especially as someone who seems pretty cozy in town and not out there in the wilderness.
Oh, well, I mean, does it matter?
Not really. I mean, like I said, you don't have to give me details, but I figured it was worth asking.
So it's just out of curiosity, then. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Then I will give you a simple answer that should sate you. I'm visiting an old friend.
Your friend lives out there?
Oh, well, he's always been a bit esoteric when it comes down to it. Yes, he does live out this far. I mean, at least according to the map and her. Points at Kara.
You
Well,
never said who your friend is.
No, of course not. No one's asked.
Who's your friend?
His name is Petcha.
oh Lord.
Does that matter?
Well, haven't never met anyone of that name, so hope he has whatever you're looking for.
I'm just looking to, well, rekindle our friendship. It's been a long time. I mean, unless you're talking about the flower, I'll definitely ask him if he has any leads on it, but
Well, there's that, but I
I'm not
meant
exactly
more
holding my
so
breath. I'm not going to lie.
most people, especially now, wouldn't go that far out of their comfort zones for the purpose of rekindling a friendship.
Well, it's interesting you think this is outside of my comfort zone. The only person here who has not done some sort of travel like this before is that one. And he kind of thumbs towards the Virtuoso.
Which begs the question, why bring him here too?
Everyone has to learn sometime, don't they? 1 second.
I wonder how far your friend Petra lives from the Clan Ruslan out there.
How far he lives, my dear. His name is Petcha Ruslan.
Oh, so he's a part of the crazy Goliath clan that the other Goliaths were afraid of.
He's probably part of the founding, family that made it.
I don't know that he founded them. I believe his clan was already quite well under the way when I met him. But I don't know how or what position he holds now. The other Goliath, though, that's... Well, actually, I guess it's not that surprising. Petcha would garner a reputation just about anywhere he went.
Well, how so?
My dear, I believe that is something far better to see than to hear.
I mean, if he's as reputable as you say, I feel like we would have heard something in our travels about it.
Well, that's because what you're speaking of is the Ten Towns. And to be fair, looks at Mace, he just mentioned that you have heard of him.
Well, we've heard of the clan, not him specifically, I thought.
Well, I mean, that's up to you. If you've heard of the clan, then you have heard of him. I guarantee it. He is probably one of the craziest of them, if not the. I don't know, haven't been there yet. I'll find out.
To be fair, most people we asked kind of avoided the subject. Seems that this clan has a
Reputation.
yes.
As I said, actually sounds about right. At least for Petya. Knowing him, he comes probably from the same stock of some sort.
Oh, well. And, so you're aware that we're staying here for the day, correct?
Absolutely, I was told by my friend, the virtuoso, and he kind of like looks over at the girls, who is a fantastic musician, that we would be staying tonight.
Once lodgings have been secured, we're gonna head over to the bar.
Oh, maybe I should be trying there instead of here. You know what? Doesn't matter. Not in that mode right now. And the virtuoso is like, that's good. I didn't really want to play tonight anyway.
I mean, friendly drink. It's not gonna kill you.
Oh no, I'm not saying I wouldn't come. Be more than happy to.
Well, Kara would speak to one of the sisters she could find and secure lodging for the four of us. Cause I'm
Yeah, so
assuming
they're still
that...
just mostly, cleaning and prepping everything for what they expect to be a dinner rush, and then, there's rooms available upstairs, so they just they get you all set up, or one of them does, and yeah, you're good to go. Shouldn't be.
Prepay in advance for them and then just head to the bar.
Yeah, no problem. Let's say it's like 1 gold per person, so 4 gold.
Okay, I will deduct that.
And then, yeah, no problem at all. And yeah, you guys make it into the tavern. Probably, we'll say, again, we'll just do a little time skip on it just to make things a little easier. We'll say you guys had, get to the bar at like 5 p.m. or so.
Kara would look for a spot that she could sit with her back to a wall just to kind of stretch a little bit so that she's
Got her wings out.
able to open up the wingspan just enough to not be like constantly crunching them against her.
Yeah, absolutely. As you go find a spot, Dimple, since technically that's the name you know him by, would walk over to the bar and get drinks for both you and himself. And the virtuoso would kind of go next to him, just knowing that he's not about to get one for himself without doing it, ordering it on his own. So he goes with him. They both get their drinks. He comes back with one and hands it to you, and just kind of finds a chair. And he at first tries to sit kind of close to you, and the wings are in the way. And he tries to finagle to find a spot. And I'm assuming that you kind of make your wings as big as possible to make sure that there isn't. So eventually he grabs a stool and he just slides it close enough for himself to be satisfied.
I noticed you keep trying to, I guess, push into me. What's that all about?
Appearances, dear. If I'm close enough to you, every man in this room will think that I'm with you.
Okay, but why?
Appearances, dear. There's, well, let's just say, maybe not for someone like you, but for someone like me, it becomes quite necessary to always be aware of how others are thinking of and judging you.
You're his manager, right?
That is correct, yes.
So shouldn't he be trying to do the same thing?
Oh, no. He has more than enough, well, let's put it this way. The virtuoso himself prefers to let his stage presence speak for itself.
Kara will look to him.
Is that true?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I could hang out with pretty women, I guess, but it doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, not physically, nor mentally, nor... I mean, I guess people might be impressed, but I prefer them to be impressed with my music.
That's an admirable attitude.
I've just never met a woman or a man that's really done it for me, so I don't really care to pursue.
Oh. Well, hopefully you find one then.
It doesn't really bother me. Again, my goal is to get my name into every household. At some point, the idea of me will become the thing I leave behind, and I'm satisfied with that.
Mark as chosen.
That's your call at this point, dude.
Mm-hmm. I like him. He's
Sacrifice will be made to Mark.
Literally just made an asexual character, and Kara's like, finally, someone who doesn't want to bang me.
Kara would lean over and give him a quick peck on the cheek as a mark, like, kiss for luck.
Oh, thank you. That's kind of you. Do you want one back?
Sure.
Just leans in and gives you a quick peck. He's like, I don't know how much luck I got, but I'm more than willing to give it. At that point, the tiefling is just. I'll have a talk with you later. Literally, just oh man, the things you don't listen to.
To me or to her?
And just points at the virtuoso. It matters little. I can be forgiving, and he just kind of slides his stool a couple inches closer.
So you get jealous?
What? No. Again, I actually don't particularly care. I get less unless I'm actually. Do I actually have a shot still? I kind of didn't figure I did. Not gonna lie.
Well, would you prefer an answer, or would you prefer to find out?
Blinks a couple times. Just damn you. I guess I'll find out. I agree with you. The mystery is far more intriguing, my dear.
Oh, well, you missed my other sisters the other day, then.
Missed your other sister.
They've been single for a long time.
Every goddamn time. Ah, well, you know what? I'm just gonna chalk it up to, divine intervention.
There was one that looked like me, but younger.
As he says that, though, there is just a slight static in the air. Oh, fuck off.
The feathers ruffle a little bit like, oh shit, I felt that.
Yes, well, she doesn't like it when I blame her for things that apparently aren't her fault. Not much she can really do.
You have a funny relationship with your patron.
Yes, well, my patron was at one point one of my best friends, so, yes.
There seems to be a recurring topic here.
What? Best friends?
Yeah,
Is it?
and
I guess
the
we'll- Yeah, you might be right, I
rift
guess.
in relationship between them.
Well, to be fair, you're saying a rift, but at no point is there anything bad that happened between any of us. Just time causes people to drift sometimes. It's the reason I'm here now, to be fair.
Yes, well, how is it that you met exactly?
Oh, man, that is a long time ago. Okay, you see, man, this was years. Yeah, so I ended up in a bit of trouble at one point. Found myself in a cave where, essentially, I had been kind of left for dead in a pit of bodies, and then, shortly after, so was a group of other adventurers. None of them were Petya, mind you. But in meeting them, I came to learn of a plot in which there was, let's just say, a consortium of cultists trying to do some relatively unsavory things in relation to some dragon gods, or a singular one in particular. On that trip, there was plenty of troubles and tribulations. We lost members of our group, and in need of continuing our path, we kind of had to pick up new ones. Petya happened to be one of them. We were looking for some other guards to join us in guarding some caravans heading from Baldur's Gate to the north, and, well, he happened to be looking for a group to join as well, and we kind of headed off. That travel, I grew close to him, and throughout the rest of our adventure, he helped me in achieving many goals of my own, and we just grew a companionship.
That's awfully fortunate for you then.
Oh, it absolutely was, but I would question, is your meeting of the people in this room with you not also just as fortunate? It's not like I'm unique in that regard.
You are correct, though fortunate is perhaps an oversimplification.
Well, my family's crazy, and so is his.
Valid.
Yeah, well,
You just hear that from across the room. Just valid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
hopefully we'll deal with both of them in time.
I mean, we can work with crazy.
Sometimes working with crazy is part of the necessary process.
Well, tell me, would your friend Petya be interested in trying to take down a demigod?
I am honestly not sure. In terms of the challenge of it, I'm sure he's more than into it, but I'm really not sure the man he is today versus the man he once was. I could tell you, there was a point where he literally decided to challenge, what was it, an ancient white dragon? Literally, none of us wanted, well, he convinced me to want to because dragons and treasure, but none of us really had any interest. He ended up speaking with a giant who owned this floating fortress, and he said there was a dragon in the basement, and then the giant, he got kind of insulted when Petra asked him why he was working with the dragons, and then he said, well, I want to be working with the giants, but there's this issue, and I can only work with so many, and then there was a reference to... Okay, never mind. You wouldn't get that anyway. At the end of the day, basically, he told the giant, we killed the dragon, you give us treasures and help us go where we want, and the giant said, fuck it, why not? I'll even send some of my men down. So we killed an ancient white dragon.
That is actually quite a admirable accomplishment.
Because
Yes,
if
well,
we had to run from one, and he was already dead.
The wizard was dead, not the dragon.
I mean, honestly, if it was me, that's the better choice. Although, I won't lie, it's not like I didn't partake in the fight. My friend being in trouble, I had to go in there, help him as much as I could. In fact, and he actually, reaches down into his robes, roughly around his hip area, and you would see him pull off of, a belt of some sort, what looks to be a worn and faded and well-used boomerang. He says, this actually struck the dragon quite well. Almost enough to kill it.
Little stick.
What an intriguing weapon of choice.
Oh, it's quite incredible, too, because, watch. And he, kind of jumps up, and he walks over to the door, and he throws it, right? And it loops around in the air, and it comes back, and he catches it. And like, boomerangs, they always come back, right? But what happens if you hit something? And he throws it, and he hits the wall of a building, and it falls to the ground, and then immediately disappears. And then he reaches back in his cloak, and he pulls it out again. Boomerang! It always returns! And then he just tucks it back under his cloak.
Now that is convenient.
Right? Now, that seems a little bit silly at first, but when you're a man like me who knows how to hit the right place, and it will be coming back to you anyway, well, sometimes there's actually not a better ranged weapon.
I would never have thought of using something like that.
Nor would I.
Usually-
Honestly, I just found it upon the travel, started using it when it seemed kind of, helpful, and kind of just stuck. This one has been kind of old and tired and worn, but I wanted to bring it to show it to Petra. He saw when I gained it, so I figured he might be interested in seeing the history of it now.
A cherished war tool. I have a few.
Yes, and he is one to appreciate those sorts of things.
I got this from a sister I didn't know I had until the other day. She'll pull out the battle axe.
That
Wait,
is
was it a
hefty
battle
axe.
axe or-
It's a battle axe, two-handed battle axe. Just like
Okay.
Leif's greatsword, the axe
Oh, so it's
version
a
of
great
it.
axe. Okay.
Is that it? Great axe? Yeah. Whatever. Hold on, now I have to check.
Because there was a battle axe and there's a great
It's-
axe.
You
It's
told me
the
a great
two-handed
axe.
one. I
Okay,
don't-
so it's the great axe. Okay.
Yeah. And you're right, I might have confused the two, the battle and the great, earlier in a description. But either way, yeah, it's the two-handed one. I'll find it
Okay.
later. I'll find it later to confirm for you.
No, it's great axe. I know the difference between two of
yeah.
them.
Gotcha. Yeah. Definitely a mighty fine weapon for a mighty fine woman. Although, honestly, you really plan to use that thing?
Why wouldn't I?
I mean, stature-wise, and considering you carry a shield as well, it just didn't seem... Can you use it in one hand?
Well, Kara will leave it floating in the air and be like, I mean, I could just, I guess.
Oh,
switch
you
back
can
and
do that
forth
too.
between the
Well,
two.
that's pretty cool. And he just, grabs a dagger from underneath his cloak, tosses it just kind of casually into the air, and then it suddenly also starts floating.
Yeah, I'm remembering some of my old tricks. I can manipulate weapons like this out to a certain distance.
Oh, same. Only within a certain weight as well.
And the axe will slot itself back into the little loop on her back.
Absolutely.
He's just gonna whisper to his hammer, I think we might need to step it up.
Your
Kara's just
your
gonna
hammer's just
side eye.
try throwing me in the air. I bet I can float. I bet I can do it.
Kara's just gonna side eye Mace and be like, I got you.
Listen, maybe if if I throw you and you start crawling towards me back,
Yeah,
that could work.
That's the thing. Your hammer turns into just this eldritch creature. The handle splits apart into 6 legs. It looks like a giant spider of some sort.
So
like
it
just
thinks,
some
got
weird
it.
centipede.
Yeah.
It pulls a thing and its head decides to
Yeah.
grow itself and walk off
Just
on its own.
a giant eye just appears on its side of it. Oh, God. No. Regardless. Yeah, anything else you wanted to ask?
I mean, it's good for me. I don't want to monopolize everything.
Yes, no worries.
I would want to know about the virtuoso. I mean, it seems you at least care for his well-being, and you've gone through the trouble of dragging him along. Is he your employee, a buddy of yours?
Kind of all of the above. I don't know. Do you feel any other way? He looks over at the virtuoso when he says that. And he's,
Well,
I
it's
mean,
more
that's
so.
kind of it.
It's clear enough you can get along just fine. It's more so you don't appear to be very similar people. So I wondered whether there was any purpose as for this trip together.
We have been traveling together for far before this trip. He comes with me in order to gain experience. Let's just say that I'm fairly able to protect both of us if the need arises. Not to say that he's any sort of slouch himself, can't necessarily fight, but he definitely puts up his own. Either way, in general, yes, it is for him to gain life experience. And, of course, to get his name out, shows around in different areas make it much easier when, word of mouth spreads that way much faster and all that.
I suppose that's right. Haven't really met any or like rising celebrities, so I guess you'd be my first.
Yes, and keep his name in your mind, for it will be huge one day, isn't that right? And the virtuoso's just, the virtuoso in every home!
Kara shotguns drink.
I'm sorry, I won't do more. It's my dream. I'd like to announce it proper.
Well, I understand every inn, perhaps, but every home.
So, I guess he looks over at the tiefling who he kind of scans you all and just kind of shrugs, nods. Oh, alright. So, the thing with me is, I kind of have these dreams sometimes that end up being real, true. I saw Kara before we met her, and now I've started seeing all of you as well, ever since I met you, and it gives me this musical inspiration. I hear songs when I see people and what they're doing, and I can feel that it's my goal to bring them over from my dreams into the reality. And you see, it's during a couple of these I've seen. There's these things, these devices that they can show me in my music, and they can play it in every home, literally everywhere. They call them TVs for the virtuoso. It's fantastic. I will get there
Oh
one day.
my fucking god. Well, it wouldn't be the strangest thing I've heard, so if those things really will exist,
I don't know how long
hopefully-
it'll take, but I do know as long as I continue making my music, then they'll be in every home.
well, for the sake of both of us, I hope you succeed.
Thank you, sir.
I think I'm done with that.
I am glad that you at least got the realization now, though.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, you guys would just kind of pass the night, drinking, chatting with villagers as they come in. Leif is, hammering stuff at the bar, thinking that the drinking competition has already started, but it has not. And then eventually, somewhere around 9 p.m., 10 p.m., there is a last call that goes out throughout the bar. The bartender, or the owner, I should say, literally screams out, "Last call!" And the bar itself, there's tables in the room as well, but the bar itself very quickly just fills up with patrons. And each one is, basically standing at the bar ready. And they kind of have, a coin purse in one hand and an open other hand. And Leif, before you guys even know what's happening, Leif is already, lined up. He's, the third in the line once it starts, right? He has no idea what's happening, but he's just ready. And if any of the rest of you want to join, you can go line up as well. It's of course fine. But essentially what happens is the bartender, there's a bartender and then there's the owner, and they both are behind the bar and they're getting ready. They're just filling up one mug after another, and they start lining them up on the other edge of the bar from all the patrons. And then essentially, Leif, you'd recognize very quickly that the first guy in the line slaps down a coin, and then the mug gets slid over to him, and he downs it as quick as he can. And as soon as he starts drinking, the second guy slams his coin down, and they slide them across, and he starts drinking it. And it goes down the line in a very fast wave. You're the third, so you slam your coin down pretty quick, and you go at it. And anyone else that wants to join, just let me know. Or actually, I guess I'll do it this way. Anyone that wants to join, you would slam a coin down and just do con rolls. Anyone that wants to go ahead.
Kara will get drunk off her ass and fill her checks because that's just how this goes. But she ain't gonna miss out.
Okay, so
Oh,
Kara is in
yeah.
the line.
How much gold?
Just honestly, you guys have gold out the ass. I feel like so just 1 coin per round. We'll say
Okay.
1 gold coin specifically.
Con rolls.
Buy
Con
land at
rolls,
this
yes,
point.
sir.
Bad low. I got low rolls.
Starting off strong, folks.
Kara,
Starting off
first,
strong.
so because Kara's been drinking all night, right? She wants to partake, but she's already pretty inebriated. So she downs the first round, and she goes, "I'm ready for the. I'm not ready for the next one." And she just like falls on her ass, and like it's one of those things where she would have probably fallen over completely backwards, but because of the wings and the way that they kind of catch her, her body doesn't completely fall, so she's just like half laying, half sitting. And she's like,
Levitating
well, I
just
think
inches
that
off the
that's
ground.
the floor I'm looking at.
Or it could be the
Oh
ceiling.
god, y'all, I'm drunk. Get me
exactly.
another.
Yeah. But for the most part, Leif and Mallow are both fine as they slam back their first drink.
Nice.
Okay. And then again, it goes to round 2. So take another coin, anyone that wants to participate, and do another con.
Rolling with disadvantage.
Oh, you're out. You're done. You failed. You're not rolling at all, babe.
Wow.
Okay.
You're getting cut off.
Yeah.
Mal's
Beautiful.
got,
Okay. So, Mallow, you down your drink no problem, and you kind of grin and just look down the line at everyone, and you've actually noticed that more than just Kara, but a couple of the villagers have also already dropped out at this point. And you're just like, nah, I got no problems. This is easy. Leif, the mug was basically empty, like before the guy was even at the next in line, and he sees you put the empty mug down, and he just like raises his eyebrows, and he's like, "Oh man, we got a serious one tonight. Fuck. Okay." But yeah, so next round comes up, so another coin down, and go ahead and do con rolls to anyone who wants to keep going. Beautiful. Yeah, so you both slam them down, no issue. I'm going to tell you, Leif, you actually had a lower DC because you're critical from last round, and even then you fucking blew it out of the water. So yeah, both of you again, shrink you down, no issue. On to the next round. So another con on anyone that wants to keep going.
Mellow's like, my dad used to poison every meal.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
Now it's nothing.
Yeah.
Mal's rolling fucking Leif numbers right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's
yeah,
I mean,
so both
this
of you,
is.
both of you are still fucking just slamming.
I
No
don't
problem.
even know.
The way it works, I have to roll all the bad numbers, while everyone else has to roll all the good numbers. That's
Yeah,
just
so-
how it goes.
So at this point in the night, it's basically like you two and then like 2 other 10-towners, and both of them are looking like green around the gills. One basically has the back of his hand to his mouth, and he's looking at the next mug, just like really unsure if he can even try and take a sip. The last guy, he's got this like he's got gumption. He's very clearly determined to drink this next mug, but his jaw is kind of locked, and he's really swaying on his feet. But we are going to do another roll, so go ahead. Coin slams down, Constitution goes.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, that is correct. So Mallow, at this point, you take your drink, and you realize halfway through the mug that you were far more dizzy than you realized, but you were just so focused on the
Oh
mug.
no, it's literally just Gimli from Lord of the Rings. And
That's
he's
what I'm
like,
saying. It's one of those
You'll
things.
never outdrink a dwarf, and then I just
Yeah,
fall over.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. It's one of those things. You were so focused on it. You seemed smooth. You went in there perfect. You're just like in control of the situation. And then as you're leaning back, the whole bar watches as you continue to lean back and back and back, and then you're out of the chair.
And then you land on Kara, who's still there.
Who's still just laying on the ground.
Both of us just passed out.
I wish you could show
Kara,
your fall.
Kara catches you, and she's like, "See, Mallow, when you're a good guy, I don't hurt you." It just leaves you laying on the ground at that point.
You land on her, she just unconsciously hugs.
Hi, ear. You're not ear. Just
It's okay, ear. You did good.
patting Mallow on the head. No. But regardless, Leif, you actually are still left standing at the bar, and at this point, both of the other 2 are completely out of it. The bartender, or I should say the owner, looks at you. His eyebrows are raised. He's impressed, and he's like, "I mean, you're still going. If you want to keep going, you could pay me another coin. I'll give you another ale. But technically, everyone else is out. You won."
I just look at Mallow and Kara on the ground, and evidently all of the other patrons.
Yeah.
And I just say, drink with the best, fall like the rest.
Okay,
Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been counting, like I've been adding up on a DC. Like
Right, that's what I figured.
You're at 20 at this point. So
That's
you
what I
rolled a
thought.
24 on a 20 DC. So yeah, I mean you're still good. So he watches you down another one, and you just slam it down. And you're like, more. So do another con save.
I feel like if I do this, I'm gonna drop. Yeah, but what do I do? I
It'll
like,
have
win?
to happen eventually.
Yeah, it
if I
does.
just
It's gonna be the
stop,
The
next
do I
one.
DC
win?
keeps
Gotta be
going
the
up.
next
I mean,
one.
technically you can still hit the next one, but you need a 19 or a 20. So
At what point does he get alcohol poisoning?
that's a great question. But
doesn't.
it's Leif, so I feel like he's drank so much passively at this point that he's probably okay.
He's got the Irish
Short
Constitution.
of
you
hitting,
cut it'll be 80
I'm not gonna lie.
proof.
Short of hitting a critical failure on the next roll, I won't give him alcohol poisoning. The crit failure, though, that's a good point. We'll see what happens.
Oh, thanks, guys.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. It's okay.
Hey,
You only
to be
have
fair-
drunk people that can help with your medicine check. I'm sure that'll go well.
Well, like, yeah, but I won.
no,
like,
no,
do
no.
I
You have to
give-
make him throw up. Stick your finger down his throat. Mace is
I
like,
just.
guys, are you okay? And Malish's like, I got it. Pulls his pants down, shows his finger up his ass, and Mace is just like, okay, off limits now. You guys are no. He's like pulling people off Leif. Just
Honestly, I'm just worried about you getting a paper cut and spilling flammable liquid everywhere.
Yeah,
We could use it
Oh,
in battle.
I mean, I guess. Fuck it.
God.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
you got
My
it.
God.
So at this point, the DC is too high for you to hit without a crit. So you can try and hit the crit if you want, but
No, I mean, no, I feel like I won. I feel like I won as much as I can. Besides,
you,
Honestly,
you
take the
basically
win.
have. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's impossible to win without a crit at this point. So
I just want to look at the bartender and say, well, thank you for the game.
he's not even looking at you. He currently has like the keg of ale that he's been serving you from is like the spout is out. It's up on its end. He's got the top cracked off. He's like reaching into it, sniffing it, trying to make sure that it is legitimate. And then he looks out at everyone else who's drunk. He looks back at you. He's like, "Well, fuck me sideways. Just I've literally never seen this happen. Good job. Just I guess if I guess the next round is free if you want one whenever you're back here. I don't know what to do. This is just you've broken me."
Well, thank you.
He said, "You weak people."
Leif
just
just yep,
swimming
no
with
problem.
the
Pulls his
red
pants up a little higher and just saunters on out.
Do you, odd question for a tavern
Walks
keep,
out like
but,
Vince McMahon.
Do you happen to have any fish?
That's the inn. The inn will have fish.
Okay, I didn't know if you had a little snack for my journey.
No. I do. He like looks at the pile of mugs where you were. I need to clean up.
Very well. Well, I will take my companions and
Kara's doing the backstroke with her wings out of the building.
take my leave. I look at Mace. Well, I guess we better get him out of here.
At least you have someone who can help.
No, it's not a feat of strength, unfortunately. It is a feat of endurance.
Yeah, I mean,
This is the only man that can give Welshie a run for his drunk money.
Yeah. All right. So with that though, we're just gonna speed things along because I do want to try and get an encounter in here before we get too late, so you guys at least get a little something besides RP. So we will say that you guys you did your drinking, you manage your way back to the inn, where you all kind of get some food quick. The sisters. They look at most of you disapprovingly, being as drunk as you are, but then Leif is like spoon feeding all of you, Leif and Mace, and they're like, "Oh well, at least I got some responsible men. That's nice." And they kind of they watch you two, Mace and Leif, throughout the night, just like impressed with the way that you're taking care of your party members. And then you head up to bed, no problem, and you get yourself a nice rest throughout the night. Let me make a note of time again. We'll say that since you guys were drinking at like 9 to 10, we'll call it 11 o'clock that you got back to the inn. You had a little snack and then went to bed. So 12, 1, 2. What are we looking at? 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Yeah. So about 7 a.m. you guys would start waking up. I mean, Kara, you're pretty hungover, at least at the start of the day. It's good that you got some food in you, but you're still pretty hurting. The rest of you are managing pretty great, and Mallow, you're
Gets
doing fine.
outside and vomits.
Yeah. It definitely seems to help a little, but you are feeling like you're wishing you were in a little better condition. But Is what it is.
One day I'll make it through a night of drinking.
For a warrior that is used to the whole drinking and fucking and fighting thing.
I had a different body back then. Fuck you.
I just come out and just like I'm taking the longest piss, and I'm just like, man, I can't wait till I die.
All I'm saying is, if Leif were to come to me and tell me he's a Valkyrie, I'd believe it.
I'm not gonna lie, Leif. As soon as do you actually say that out loud?
Yeah.
Your sword glows, and you just hear a disapproving. I really hate you.
Did you get the top and bottom?
Oh, she talks again.
Anytime
Sorry.
that I wish to, yes.
Well, can I do anything for you that would be less disapproving? Still
Hey.
peeing, by the way. I'm still peeing, by the way.
Yeah, of course, during the whole conversation. She just says to you, be less disappointing. I've given you parameters, and your friend, the musical one, seems to wish to help, so I will let him do what I've allowed him. You've already heard what you get from me. You only have one true question, currently. Are you sure you wish to waste it on something like this?
Thanks. No. Perhaps you're smarter than a piece of metal.
I am much smarter than a piece of metal.
Am I hearing shit, or is he talking to his sword?
Yes.
Cast like minor illusion all around Kara and just start having little voices go on.
Oh god, the voices are back.
I look at Kara as I'm like covering myself back up with whatever like cloths or whatever, and I go, yes, but the question is which one?
Yes, the voices are back.
To be
Goes
fair, though,
outside.
that, Leif, you would also hear the little voices that Mallow is making because you're probably close enough.
I had to kill you. You were annoying.
Regardless,
Shut up, Rhoda, you were a bitch.
one of Mallow's little voices is just like, "Fuck you, Kara, I hate you."
Fuck you,
Perfectly in
Rhoda, you
Rhoda's
tried to
voice.
steal my
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, 'cause you deserve it. He's just like the classic sibling rivalry fights that he would get into as a kid. He's just doing with you, like pantomiming.
yeah,
You stole my sword, so I stole your man.
A hungover Kara just is like not stopping to realize that she's arguing with literal air.
Yeah, well, fuck you. You tried to kill me, and I killed you instead and took your shit.
Who's got the battle axe now?
Just want to
Alright.
tell Mallow to smell his finger and see if that breaks his concentration on what he's trying to do.
Sadly, his minor illusion does not require concentration, but yeah,
No.
that's definitely.
I cast another minor illusion to just show a giant thumb with like just poop hanging off of it.
Oh,
Is this what you were talking about?
Kara's outside taking care of the dog, still yelling at the non-existent voice.
Alright, so with that, you guys all prepare. The Tiefling and the Virtuoso jump on the carts, the dog sleds, and you guys will set out. And eventually, you find your way to here. So just go ahead and place yourselves on the lower corner there. That should be visible.
By the way, that's Mallow's mask.
I see.
Looks like a Cyclops
see.
with a
changed
mustache.
And a unibrow.
Somebody
Yeah.
had a late night in the paint application.
Yeah, it works.
I just found random ones and I thought that looked funny and I was like, perfect.
No, I like that. That is 100% Mallow after getting rid of his old one.
He's like, lines, perfect.
They'll never know it was me.
You saw a guy with a mustache walk by, and you were like, "Oh yes!"
No one will know. I like take it off and like you just see a giant handlebar mustache.
Oddly fitting.
I
always
should not
tries to
be the
troll this-
concierge of pain.
Okay. So let me
That's
also
actually
go ahead
rather fitting.
The only
I
pain I
forget
want.
that Mallow, like, there's no like standard thing that I have to talk like with Mallow. It can just be whatever I want at the time.
Yeah, you guys arrive, not even arrive per se, but you are in the middle of your travel. This is probably about 5 hours, 6 hours in. Kara's rough and it's about the halfway point. When you just start hearing what sounds to be kind of rustling in the snow, uh, it's loud enough that you're able to pick it up a fair distance out. And Kara has you all stop the dog sleds and your elk as well, Mace, and just kind of points in the direction, this direction being where you guys gathered afterwards, and tells you what she's hearing, shuffling in the snow. You would be able to tell, Kara, it's coming from more eastward on this map, as far as you can tell, but you can't quite tell exactly where.
Something's walking out there in that direction. Sounds like it's alone.
Big, small. These concierge need to come out.
I can't tell.
Does it enjoy baguette?
Like pencil handlebar mustache and like the tiniest little like pointy goatee at the bottom. The thickest eyebrows.
You got the V for Vendetta mask going.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we're gonna go. It's that, but it's my face.
I imagine we can't be that far off from our destination. Maybe it's one of them.
Well, I don't think that would be a good thing either way.
Only one way to find out.
There's multiple.
Can I
Can I try
cast-
something? No,
Sure.
I want to try something.
Fine.
I'm gonna try something. So, Frick.
I know what he's doing. Go for it. Yeah,
Okay.
you can do
Yeah.
it. Bring it.
Okay. Okay. I don't. Yeah. No, there's not like. I don't think there's a thing. It just takes one of my actions.
Correct.
Okay.
You would summon with a bonus action, and then I believe it's an action to do what you're thinking of.
I think it's just takes an action. Oh, I mean, I don't know.
It's a bonus action to summon anytime you summon your thing. That's what I mean.
true.
So you're
Yeah,
still
I feel-
using
yeah,
the whole,
I
but
feel
it's
you.
still only one turn.
Yep.
I mean, it's 6 seconds, and you're able to do both. So.
Yeah. So that's cool. I'm just going to start doing this.
Yeah. So you all would watch as essentially Leif summons up an echo, and then kind of like sits himself down in the snow, props himself up so that he can stay kind of relatively in a relaxed seated position, and then suddenly he closes his eyes, and it seems as if falls unconscious, and his echo just starts trudging off through the snow.
I want to cast Minor Illusion to have a similar looking orc, half orc or whatever, walking with him.
Holding hands.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You just want it like 5 feet next to him?
Yeah, just 5 feet next to him, just to make it look like there's another person with
Yeah, that's
him.
fine. That's no problem. So as you get out to that way, Leif, I'm assuming you're looking to the north is your goal?
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. Like around. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Gonna keep trudging.
There we go. And then you would also see...
Can I make a perception check to see if I can notice anything that, like, footsteps or anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, you would... Yeah, go ahead. Do a perception check.
That's kind of what I wanted to do from here.
Go for it.
Take
And you can
now
roll
that
one
I'm
as well.
in these trees. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying and see what Kara was talking about out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you would have no problem hearing that to your direct southwest here, I should say. I think I said east earlier, I meant west.
You did.
So your direct southwest here is very much a massive amount of shuffling. It sounds like a relatively large creature kind of stomping through the snow and crushing any sort of branches or anything under its feet as it does so. Mallow, you would pretty much notice the same. It'd be coming from your direct west.
I can't see what it is or anything from where I am.
Not currently.
Okay.
There's kind of a lot of like snow and stuff being thrown up by wind. It's not quite a blizzard, but it's causing enough of an issue seeing that you're kind of a little bit limited right now.
Nice dusting going through.
Yeah. Yeah, so as you go down there.
Alright.
Can I
Go
stealth?
by this.
And at that point, I will need you, Leif, as you step to see far enough to see this. Everyone needs to roll initiative.
I
I'm
missed
sorry.
that.
I'm sorry. It's on a different layer. I just noticed. My B. It shouldn't have been. Just gonna get rid of all this actually. God, man, reveal areas is not very great at
Twitchy.
the edge of the map.
Yeah.
And then this to that.
Oh
great.
no.
Oh, this seems great.
This seems great, he says.
This seems great.
So,
I mean, I don't know,
there
it
seems to
fun.
be a giant blue-skinned humanoid, literally giant, riding on top of a giant furry elephant, or woolly mammoth, as some of you might know it.
Getting flashbacks there, Claw?
Oh yeah.
So everyone please go
Am I
ahead and
gonna
roll
get pelted?
initiative. We'll find out, won't we?
Don't worry. You're not the one who can fly.
We're doing initiative, yeah?
What's up?
Initiative?
Yes, initiative.
Okay.
Okay. 16 for Kara, 17 for Leif.
Alright, calm down, Mallow.
22. Because it won't roll it at advantage.
That's fine. I will point out currently the rest of the party does not know what is there. It is only Leif who knows. Mace was a 19. Very nice. Mace,
Harrison,
Mace, what
there's
is your
a...
what is your Brian, please, dexterity? It's lower than a 4, right?
My
Oh,
dexterity.
Yeah, dex is lower than 4. It's alright.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, I should have everything in order then.
Harrison, there is a way to roll with an advantage initiative in roll 20. If you hit the cogwheel and you look at the center box on the top, there is a subsection that says initiative style, and it should say normal to start with. If you click it, you can select advantage, and it should always roll with advantage.
Within the character sheet or within what?
Yep.
For roll 20?
So if you're looking at the roll 20 character sheet, on the right side there should be the little cogwheel.
Yeah.
Click that. The center box in the top, after strength, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, initiative modifier, when it gets to initiative style,
I didn't mean to do that.
you
Oh,
could
that
select
cogwheel.
that, and
Gotcha.
you should be able to select advantage style.
Yep.
That
I got that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. You guys are good. Then the first up in the order is Mallow.
That's not good.
Oh, you rolled the highest. I don't know what you're...
I know.
To be fair again, Mallow, you don't currently know what's going on. The only thing you're aware of is that Leif is like sitting cross-legged near you, kind of in an unconscious state, and you see his echo kind of off in the distance.
What way is the light from whatever site? Like, are there shadows around me?
So I believe
Since I'm standing around everyone.
if we left in the morning, 1 second, 7 a.m. we left, and I said that this was about 5 to 6 hours. So
So
yeah,
it's gonna
at about
take it
1
about-
p.m. With all the dust and dusted snow and stuff blowing around, I would say it's very difficult for you to locate shadows in general. Everything's kind of dim lit. Anything like the trees, I guess, you could probably locate a shadow from, but it'd be very thin and tough to see at a distance.
So I wouldn't be able to see it from where I'm at, say.
We'll
So
say
where-
that you have like a vision of about 40 feet right now. It's a little bit restricted, but not quite so much as to be halved. Because I think dark vision is usually like 60 feet. When you actually don't have dark vision, but it's fine. Say 40 feet still.
I'm just gonna run up to Mace's other, or not Mace's,
Leif,
Leif's, yeah, Leif's echo.
you're gonna go to the echo. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to here.
So Mallow goes to check out the sound that he hears. At that point, you probably would start to see at least the outline of this large thing in the distance.
I would cast minor illusion over 30 feet back and holler at them that something's up here.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but it's fucking big.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. The Virtuoso goes after you. Yeah, sure, good enough. So he's going to bardically inspire his patron here. And he is going to disappear. Perfect. Okay, so next up is actually one of the enemies. So at this point, it starts to saunter up towards Leif. Or I should say the echo that it has seen. 15, 20, 25, we'll put it about here. And it's going to try and spear you with what looks like a spear or lance made out of a felled tree.
Mere
Leif's
the
echo. It has not quite noticed you in so much as it has the echo yet. It's actually the same one. Right. So the echo disappears, and you guys would watch as normal Leif's eyes kind of snap open.
Can I see if he's riding that mammoth?
He is indeed. Yes.
Okay.
As soon as I wake up, I just want to look at everyone around me and just go, big human thing on a big mammoth, bigger than we've seen.
Yeah, Mello ran ahead. We're gonna catch up in a minute.
Okay. He's
And
pissed.
with that, it would be the next turn, Mace.
Hey,
Oh, actually, yeah.
yeah, this is gonna be something. I think, all things considered, there's not much I can do on a technical level. So, well, it's coming this way, right? Or
It kind of charged towards the Leif echo that it saw and killed it, quote unquote.
right? Okay. In that case, I'll move up. Looks like move over to here and do a dodge action.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Next up is your friend the Tiefling, who is going to simply look at you, Kara, and say, "So, is this one of those things where you guys want the challenge, or you want my help?"
I mean, sooner this is done here, the sooner we get to the village.
Yeah, that is fair. Just didn't want to be stealing anything, I guess. And with that, he will...
I mean, if you're looking for trophies, you might have to compete with Mallow.
I care not for trophies, but if it has anything of value on board, I might put my hand forth for potentially taking it. We'll see how it goes. Anything in particular that you ask I do or don't do? I've never fought with you all before.
Kara's gonna shrug. Don't be a fifth wheel. That's I think the only thing.
Oh, that will not be a problem, my dear. Not a problem at all. In fact, let's say I'll be so out of the way, you won't even see me. And with that,
Perfect.
he will also, much like the Virtuoso, disappear.
Why did he have angel wing marks?
He is currently barding his bride.
Gotcha. Okay.
And now, 'tis... Yeah, okay. So at this point, the mammoth kind of rears up as it sees Mallow, and it's going to start charging in Mallow's direction. It tramples basically over these things without a care in the world, and it is not the giant attacking you, it is specifically the mammoth. Okay, so it's gonna hit you with its
1 second.
Okay, what's up?
Where I swear I just got something to help me with that.
With something coming up to you and hitting you?
Oh no, it was for if I have to make a dex saving throw.
Correct.
Oh, evasion? Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
That'll still
Yeah.
be helpful, just not in this particular circumstance.
Correct, yeah. So it charges straight at you, and it bores down on you with its tusks, goring you in the process. Or bears down on you, I should say, with its tusks. It does 23 damage, and I need you to do a strength saving throw. Okay. So as it hits you with all this tremendous force of it charging in your direction, it knocks you prone with that hit. Prone. You can stand up on your turn. If the target... Or be knocked prone if the target is prone, so it's not there yet. Gotcha. Okay. With that, it goes to... Oh, did I skip over you by accident, Kara? I might have. Yes, Leif and
I was
Kara
supposed to go
are
after
up now. Sorry.
Leif.
Yes. So Leif and Kara... Leif, your turn first. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Weird. I missed ones. That's why. I put 7 and 6 for Kara's initiative instead of 17 and 16. Melby.
Oh, no, it's
Yeah, it
fine.
happens.
Yeah, I've corrected it now. So Leif first and then Kara.
I'm just going to look at Kara before I do anything and say, are you going to talk to that beast that he's riding, or are we just going to attack it?
I get the sense it's innately loyal to the one riding it, so no.
Very well. I just take off. I'm going to get here, and then I'm going to push my echo out and then take a step and attack the mammoth.
Chris, are you holding that for planning, or is that just stuck on my
Yeah.
screen? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. So go ahead and roll for it, Leif.
Bam.
Yeah, that will hit.
8, which I'm going to re-roll for 11.
All right.
Then I'm going to try again. 14.
That will also hit.
Another 22 on it.
Yes, sir. Good hits. Anything else you're going to do?
I don't think I can do anything for
Summon
Mallow
an echo, 2 swings, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I... Well, yeah, I don't... Yeah, I guess everything will be an action. No, yeah, I'm good like that.
Alrighty. So, Kara, you're up.
I'm scoot over to there, and once close enough, I'm gonna throw my spear twice.
Which target?
The large blue man.
The giant. Okay.
I just didn't want to say that outright, but
It's fine. It's pretty obvious.
yeah. So throw number 1.
Will not hit.
Okay. And throw number 2 is definitely not gonna hit.
No, sir. Mallow is laying down, so I'm going to say he's out of the way enough that you do not accidentally almost stab him.
Well, be interesting considering those are throws.
That's what I'm saying. You went and threw the spear straight at it missed the giant. It was, you threw it
Okay.
way above him, so it's not close enough that I
And
worry about it.
as a bonus action, what can I do? Screw it. I'll Hunter's Mark the giant.
Okay. Okay. So Kara's done. That should be back to the top of the turn order because I already did the mammoth. Yeah. So that's Mallow. Uh-oh, did we lose him again?
Well, yeah, you said it was his turn.
Yeah.
That's very fair. My bad. Yeah, exactly.
On it.
Bad form. Okay. We will just go past him for now and come back to him.
My mic was muted. I was
Okay,
talking
never
that
mind.
whole time.
Good.
What the fuck?
Good. Thank God your computer didn't crash at least.
I'm like, I'm here. Hello.
Yeah. Well, not our fault if you were muted.
No,
Alright.
I know. So can I bonus action shadow step to get to the other side of them? and use that as my getting up motion at the same time, if that makes sense. Like using half my movement or
No, I'm
whatever
gonna
it
say
is.
you can use half your movement to stand up first and then shadow step as you're like, we'll say you get to your feet and then like, as you, you know, crouch down, one hand on the ground, you sink down into a shadow sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna, I just want to make sure that you're understanding you're still using half your movement to stand up first and all that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, that's what I was stating. Like,
Yeah.
can I, just in one go though is what I'm meaning.
It's not technically one go. I'm just it's still two separately like separate things. But yes, it's happening in one turn, so you're fine.
Okay. I'm just gonna pop up over like here, or I guess.
So
Over.
just keep in mind, one's riding the other. The tokens are staggered just to, I guess,
Okay.
make them easier to click.
Exactly.
So if you're
Yeah, then-
looking for the advantage line, I'm pretty sure it applies if you're still standing there.
Okay.
But
Anywhere,
that's a me call.
focus it as if the mammoth was the only current token on the screen.
Okay. All right, then I'm gonna pop up over there. Attacking with advantage against. I'm gonna aim for the mammoth.
Alrighty. Will not hit.
Oh, that's great. There we go.
That will indeed.
11 damage.
Absolutely.
With Crusher, does it move both of them? Or would I be able to sweep him off the mammoth because he's not expecting that?
Does Crusher work on any size enemy? I think it's large or smaller. I think these are too big.
Provided that the target is no more than one size larger than you.
Yeah, these things are 2 sizes larger than you, so you cannot. If you were a size large, though, then you would have been able to Crusher. You're just not big enough.
Okay.
Or they're not small enough, one way or the other.
All right. Then that's my turn then.
Yep, absolutely. Alrighty. In that case, it is the Virtuoso's turn. He's gonna give a Bardic Inspiration to you, Kara.
Okay.
So let me mark you with that. Actually, why is
I
that
have marked me with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. I was on the wrong layer again, so either or. But yeah, you just kind of suddenly feel this Bardic Inspiration, this sense of assistance, magic assistance, and that's about it for his turn. That's going to be the giant up next. So, it's going to try and swing at Mallow and Leif's Echo, as it has 2 attack rolls. It will hit Mallow with a 23. It will hit Leif's Echo with a 19. I believe, yeah?
Yeah.
Oops, that's the wrong button. I need damage. So Mallow, you will take 31 damage as it pierces through you with this giant tree trunk lance. And Leif, your Echo just disappears. It doesn't really matter how much damage. So, yeah. And it bellows out a laugh. It screams something in giant. That's its turn. Mace, you're up.
Okay. Well, I'll move over. Do I get advantage if I move here?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay. Well,
Because
Yeah,
it's kind of tough to move like any further north on it. So
yeah. I think I'm just gonna hit him twice.
go for it.
So one. Oh,
27.
that's not
Do you want
advantage,
to go?
but
You can
still.
roll it again for a second die roll if you want.
Yeah. Okay.
There you
Hey.
go.
Oh,
There you go. And you're swinging at the giant specifically.
Yeah, I think so.
Alrighty, go for it. So give me those big old damage numbers that you tend to. 15 and a
Yeah,
5 is a good start at 18.
So yeah, I mean, obviously I'll be divine smiting.
Your musical song about me in the beginning was on par.
I guess so. So yeah, 1, 2,
22.
and then the second swing. This time I will toggle advantage. I assume that hits too.
Yes, 27 will still hit.
Okay, cool.
19 roll is gonna fucking hit him without your fucking advantages.
Yeah.
Alright. Beautiful swings, as Mace tends to when he hits hard. And then almost as if responding to Mace's skilled strikes, you kind of watch as your tiefling friend pops up out of nowhere. He actually is up on the mammoth's back behind this giant, holding onto the back of its armor with what looks to be a rapier in his right hand. And I gotta go do a bunch of die. Give me a sec. Yep, one shy of a crit will most certainly hit. So this. Alright, so he pops up out of, basically out of invisibility, and he swings this rapier through the air, striking down towards the giant's throat. And as he does so, he actually screams a word. Kara, you'd hear it fine. The rest of you, it would be kind of distorted, but Kara, you would most certainly hear as he screams the word spark out loud. The blade initially lights up in a very bright orange flame, but almost as sudden as the flame appears on the blade, it shifts to a green hue and punctures deep into the giant, and he takes quite a lot of damage. 67 damage.
6d7 or 67?
7 damage.
Okay.
And then he kind of jumps backwards off the mammoth and just lands on the ground next to it.
That is actually kind of gross.
Yes. But you're also dealing with a much higher level character who has lots of gear.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just say.
Yep. And yep. Next is Leif.
Oh yeah. We are going to come down here. We're gonna put an echo there, and I'm gonna attack the mammoth again.
Go for it.
24.
Mm-hmm.
9. We'll do that again for 11. Okay. 27.
Yes, sir.
8. We'll take that.
You're actually rolling low damage numbers for once. It's very
We're
rare for you.
gonna unleash incarnation.
Mhm.
Incantation. What I am. Yeah.
Yep. Unleash Incarnation. Yep. Go for it.
And then we're gonna give her one more for 20. I think that should be okay. 13 on it. Okay. I'll take that.
Okay, beautiful. Mammoth is looking pretty beat up. Its rider is looking close to death's door. Kara, you are up.
Okay. Am I in conjunction with Dimple? Or no?
I'll give it to you from it just being surrounded in general. Like I said, this thing's kind of hard to flank properly on. So
Cool, because I want to at least make one hit today.
yeah, I'll give it to you. That will
Fuck
not.
me.
That will. And you said,
Okay,
you
thank
said the
God.
mammoth, correct? Oh, actually,
Yeah.
the mammoth, I was clicked on the wrong character. The mammoth will be hit by both of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
Then
I
I'm
was still
going
on
to
the
do
giant,
2
so-
attacks.
Go for it. Just roll the 2 damage.
Uh,
And I'm assuming
There's
some extras.
the first one,
Yep, so 9 on that one.
and there's the second one.
Okay. 11.
Man,
Beautiful.
all my shit's rolling low today. Goddamn.
Yeah, it's alright. You guys are still handling this without too much issue. So now it is technically the mammoth's turn. It's going to attempt to gore back at... It's going to gore it out at Kara, having been the last one to hit her. Or to hit it.
Okay, doke.
The 23 will hit you.
It will.
And you will receive 30 damage.
Okay.
And that is
Good
the
thing for
mammoth's
that
turn.
Temp HP.
Yeah, exactly. That's the mammoth's turn. It is now Mallow's turn.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna try to beat the shit out of him.
Which one is him? The
Um,
mammoth or the giant? Just so I
The
know.
mammoth, because I'm assuming.
You're good. Just wanted to know.
I would assuming if he's mounted, if it dies, he's gonna have to make some kind of check to not eat shit when he falls.
Generally, yes.
Alright, so going to. I still have advantage, so bow staff.
Yes,
And
that will
crit?
most certainly hit.
Oh my god. I know that sometimes are gross, but this is a little too much.
There's 18.
I mean, it's no worse than the fight last session. If anything, it's still not as bad as. It's like nearly 10 crits
And
between all of
then-
you.
I don't know. There's been like quite a few crits now.
Another one that'll hit.
This is still a much shorter battle overall, so I guess maybe crits per round is much up higher or whatever.
I'm
but-
gonna re-roll that damage.
So,
That's another 11.
18,
I'm gonna
11.
burn a key point and do a
9.
flurry of blows.
Yes, sir.
That won't hit.
No, sir.
That will hit.
Okay.
And then another 7.
Absolutely.
And I will end my turn.
Alrighty. It is the Virtuoso's turn. So he's going to... I think, yeah, so he's going to just kind of find himself a nice covered position and dispel his invisibility as he simply yells out, "I cannot tell the difference between your mount and a dirty rag!" As he attempts to dissonant whispers, the vicious mockery is what I'm thinking of, at the mammoth. And let me see. It shouldn't do very well. Oh yeah, it fails miserably. I'm losing track of which character sheet is which. Short of a failure roll, this thing should die, and yes, it keels over dead. So, the mammoth falls over. This needs to do a roll. Okay, so the mammoth falls over sideways, and the giant is currently trapped with a leg stuck underneath it.
Double advantage.
However, it is still the giant's turn. It is unable to do much in the way of movement, I guess. So, I mean, being prone doesn't stop you from attacking, right? Just want to make sure.
No. I think, and I
Does have
could be wrong, I
disadvantage,
think
though.
it disadvantage.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is correct. Since it can't really go anywhere, it's still just going to swing out and try and take as many of you with it as it can. Let's see. So it does strike out. It kind of flails around wildly, and for the most part, none of you have to worry too hard about dodging this this blow. However, as the tip of the lance kind of passes by the tiefling, he has to kind of jump backwards, and it scratches at his shoulder just a little bit. Not enough to really even damage his robes or anything, but you can tell that the lance did kind of strike him for just a slight glancing blow. But that is basically all the giant is able to do, and it is now Mace's turn. You have advantage on attacks because both it is surrounded and it is prone. So
Yeah, okay.
Tropic Thunder, this motherfucker.
Yeah, let's try it. I assume that hits.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Let's see if it's enough to
19.
kill him.
Very nice.
No, I said let's see if. Sorry. So your 11 and
Oh.
6 is a 17 is not quite enough. It is very bloodied, breathing, super haggard. In fact, it almost can't even see past the amount of blood that's on its face. But it is still breathing.
Unfortunate. I don't think I'll waste a smite on that, so I'll end it there.
All right. So with that, then it is the tiefling's turn, and he's going to simply walk up next to it, pull out a dagger, and let's make sure he hits. I can't imagine he would miss, but let's just check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 29 is going to hit. Let's just do all the proper stuff. So he slits its throat for 34 damage, and that is the end of...
I wanted to kill it.
Sorry.
Dude, I wanted to hit it.
I asked. I asked at the beginning if
I
you
know.
wanted him to be involved. I at least gave the option. But yeah,
No.
with
No, I'm not complaining it's dead. I'm complaining I didn't touch it.
yeah, you're fine. I understand. All right, but with that, that is combat ended.
Can I search his body?
Yeah.
Sure, but everything that you find is giant-sized, and he does not have any treasure on him. Actually, wait,
Damn it.
I'll double-check that. He might.
You have to roll for that bag, sir.
I don't know. No, I think this one is specific. Did it? Hold on, it might have.
The various different giants have bags of different
I'm not sure this one does.
contents.
It didn't mention it in the encounter. If it does,
Yeah, sometimes they contain gnomes
where the fuck
So
is
let's
it?
see.
because they need snacks for the road.
Frost giant bags are coated in a waterproof lacquer and lined with thick fur to keep their contents dry in harsh winter of their Arctic domains. In addition to weapons and travel supplies, they like to
Yeah,
carry
but
trophies.
but I'm going off of an actual like in-book encounter. I'm not.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that one was a book one. So
I love that it says X number of boulders for throwing are just in the bag at
Yeah.
any given time.
yes.
They're just carrying boulders. It's not like they can just yank one out from the ground.
I mean, they probably can, but they carry boulders in their bags.
Apparently. It would have taken bribes, but it does not have any gold on it. So yeah. It has giant equipment if you want to try and drag some giant equipment around. Or you could, cut off the mammoth tusks, go back to the old ivory trading business.
I mean, I could technically fit them in the bag of holding, so
I want to try to cut off the mammoth tusks because I want to try to attach them to my bow staff.
Malin walks over with his bow staff, and he just starts like sawing at the mammoth tusks with
I was
the
gonna
wood
say
of
I
his
have
bow staff.
daggers and the rapier as well.
Just teasing. You can ask your team for help, and you guys will be able to kind of remove a mammoth tusk without too much issue.
Oh, I
Kara will
won't-
take the battle axe and just chop one off.
But both of them.
We'll chop both of them off.
And the horns off of that thing.
I think it's a helmet.
Yeah, as you examine it, you would recognize that it is indeed a helmet.
The horns off the helmet.
I got you your tusks. You can get that one.
Is it just a helmet?
Absolutely.
I just take the helmet off and I just throw it at the bag of holding.
I'm not sure is the bag of holding's mouth gonna be big enough for that? Like the
I can feed the
tusk-
tusks in because
right. I just
do
the
that,
helmet,
but-
the helmet I'm not sure about is the other one. How big's
Or
the
can I
mouth of the bag
break-
of holding?
Can
I
I
am
break
looking.
the horns
Yeah.
off of the...
Yeah, you can break the horns off.
I'll break the horns off and put them in the bag of holding.
If it's bigger than 2 feet in diameter, I can't fit it into the bag.
Okay, yeah. I definitely am just going to break them off.
Anything else anyone wants to do to desecrate these corpses any further?
I gouge out both their eyes and cut out their tongues.
Yeah, I figured Mallow was, apt to do something. It's his
Yeah.
first violence in a while.
In a while, we just killed my sisters like the other day.
That's,
but I
that's
didn't
true,
gouge
but
them.
this is like, his first chance to unleash
This is
himself.
wanton violence.
Yeah. Honestly, the tiefling would kind of back away when he sees Mallow doing all this. Just kind of like walk over to you guys. Just is that typical? Because it is horrifying.
Do giants have dark vision? Oh, wait, never mind. His eyes are too big. God damn it.
Oh god.
So
What a thought, though.
Oh, no. Next time we kill a character that has dark vision, I'm gouging their eyes out and then replacing my own.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a skill that you currently possess, but we can maybe work on it.
This is not Baldur's
Uh,
Gate 3.
Kara will look over to.
Well, my sister did it.
Your
Dimple.
sister used an ear, and the ear was from a very specific person.
I know. Well,
So
Kara, give me your eyes.
Fuck off. Kara will look at Dimple when he asks that question of her or of the group and just goes, "It's complicated."
it looks quite complicated. I mean, what is it? Daddy issues? Mommy issues?
It's complicated.
Okay, so definitely daddy issues then.
Where I come from, we call it psychopathy, but different names, I guess.
Listen, I'm not here to judge what created the person before me. I'm
My-
just trying to understand it.
My head pops up, and when it does, like, I want to, like, over-exaggerate my eyes and have them be, like, super bloodshot with this, like, blood's dripping from my mouth. I have, like, canine teeth for all my teeth, and I just stare at him. It's like, what's the matter?
You are the matter. I feel like I need to put you down. Not that it wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, lordy. All right. Mallow, let us know when you're done with what you're doing, and we'll hit the road again.
Everything just immediately goes back to normal. Yeah, we can leave.
Now it's just over there. Consume! Consume! It's like, God damn, what is wrong with this man? Alright, yeah, so that's no problem. You guys would go, regather the sled dogs and get yourselves all prepped and ready to leave. And you would head back on your way. So, just for frame of reference, let's go to the map. So you guys kind of headed, from Karakhonig. Let's take into a yellow brick road. You headed up, past, gave the mountain some good berth. And it was kind of like around here, we'll say. It's a good example of where you just had that encounter. So you still have about
Okay.
half your trip left, but it's not too rough of the other half of the trip. And about 12 hours after you left Karakhonig, you are coming in to the village Ruslan. Give me a second.
I expect red flags.
Red flags. Like the proverbial kind or legitimate kind?
So it's kind of
The hammer and sickle kind.
Oh god.
Ah.
So it's kind of starting to get dark. It's about 7 p.m. when you guys finally make it here. But as you kind of crest the large snowy berm that Kara believes to have been kind of drawn on that initial map that she deciphered, you find in front of you a village here, and it looks like this. You guys would be coming in from the lower right eventually, but essentially you find a village of brightly colored, single room by the looks of them houses. They're very large in size, but you can kind of tell by their construction they're similar to like an igloo, right? It seems like it would be just one big room by its structure. These things are made of mostly bone and what looks like kind of held together by ice, but also some other materials such as wood, stone, metal, and even animal skins are all clearly used in the construction as well. Most of those things kind of seem like they have almost a rarity to them. Like metal is much more rare, skins are much more available, wood is more rare than stone. But you just see that plethora of materials, and a lot of times you would notice that more so the more rare materials are kind of generally more decorative. The structural stuff almost always seems to be constructed from bone. So, like I said, as you approach, you realize these buildings are huge. Many of the houses have doors that are like 9 or 10 feet tall, and the roofs are just visibly several feet higher than that. So the internal cavity of these things is, like the roof is like maybe 12, 15 feet high, essentially knowing Goliaths, I guess I'd say that you have a good enough frame of reference that you would imagine Goliaths are very, very comfortable in these buildings and probably could live 2 or 3 per at most. Maybe 4 would start getting tight, but they seem like Goliath igloos almost essentially. But yeah, so you guys kind of come in on that southeast corner, and let me position the others as well. You would be here. Where's my virtuoso? There he is. He would be up here. That. Okay, and so yeah, as you guys approach this village, essentially you would notice that several of these huts would have Goliaths that kind of peek their heads out, hearing the dog sleds approaching. But more than anything, it is only a single hut that has someone truly emerge. He looks like almost any other Goliath that you guys have seen in the past. However, as he approaches, you realize very rapidly that this character is not actually wearing any sort of heavy weather gear at all. In fact, you would see he doesn't have a shirt on, doesn't have a hat on. He wears some bracers on his arms, but no cloak. And even his pants seem so thin that you all would imagine they don't keep any cold out. And as his rippling muscles just continue towards you, seeming ever more intimidating with every step that approaches, he raises his right hand, and almost instantaneously, a tiny sun bursts into existence and flies in your direction. I need everyone to do me a dexterity saving throw, except for Kara. Kara, give me a perception check quick first. You have a high enough passive that there is something you might notice that no one else will. Everyone else notices him coming forward and throwing the thing at least, though.
14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's see. So there's Leif's dex save. Everybody
Do I
else.
still need to do the dex save?
Do me the dex save quick. Yeah.
Also a 14.
Okay. Okay.
That's my number for tonight. I think I've rolled like
I just
6 of those.
I just need a dex save from Mallow.
What is this going on exactly? What is it? Is it the sun?
A
or is
Goliath
hurling-
approached you, and a small
Goliath
sun
is throwing the sun at us.
appeared in his hand, and it
Yeah, we're getting
launched
Escanoid.
towards you. Yeah. So I need a dexterity saving throw.
This is where your evasion comes in handy.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I was also looking at deflect missile.
I guess it's a
Well,
projectile, but
That's a fair
one
objective
way or
check.
another, I still need the dex save.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Deflect Missile is the most thematic yet the most useless ability that Monk has.
That's
I'm
actually
gonna
pretty incredible, I'm not
do-
gonna lie. But it's just, I think some DMs don't generally use bows, so...
Really?
Perfect. No, it's fine, you're good.
And
Okay,
I'm gonna use.
so,
I
Kara,
want to use
in
my
this instance-
reaction
Reaction to
to
what?
deflect missile.
Okay, that's fine. You can still try. I mean, you still critically fail on dex save, so you're going to be prone when you try, but regardless. Kara, so what happens is you see this thing coming, and you glance at your party members quickly just to make sure everyone is also noticing this. And as you do so, something catches your eye as slightly off about the tiefling. He seems far more confident than you would imagine, considering this giant enemy bearing down upon you. But you can't quite figure out why, as your mind is more occupied with this sudden threat. Kara, you and Mace manage to very deftly step aside without too much issue as this thing's coming your way, and you get off of line, and you know it's not going to hit you. Leif, you kind of stumble and fall to the ground, like on your knees, not necessarily prone, but you do not manage to make it out of the line. And Mallow, you slip entirely and fall flat on your back, and are now looking up at the sky. Yeah, you're prone. However, as this thing approaches you, when it arrives at about 5 feet away from your group, it suddenly dissipates. And you all just hear a loud guffaw in the distance as the Goliath that threw it says, "Ha ha! It's been long time, friend Magnus! It's good to see! It's good to see!" And just continues to trudge towards you guys. And with that, we're going to call it for tonight.
Alright.
Yeah, okay. I will admit, I was not expecting the miniature sun.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, it gets better. I mean, the man literally wears no clothes as well. Got that
Well, he's
going on.
got like a rocket launcher for a dick.
I mean, if you want to do a perception check, it's probably not hard to see past the very thin cloth of his pants.
You know, if he did, I'd
Because
ask
this will
for.
be the only perception roll that I
Just
actually succeed on.
go for it. Yeah. Anyone wants to check out his package? Feel free. Give me a perception check. Let's go. I'm surprised
Does not
Nalo's not
shrink
getting
in
in on
the
this.
cold.
There it
Oh,
is.
shit.
Mace is really looking hard.
Yeah, I need to know his supplier.
Gotcha. Well, the best part is I can tell you, we'll do the classic on a scale of 1 to 20. Petra rolled a 19, so he's rocking it down there.
Oh my god, you could spit a pig on that.
Petra's like, I do not like to kill enemies that way. But no.
Do you think that's how he drills holes in the ice to fish?
Just whips it out, puts it down, and spins.
Yeah.
All right,
All
I'm
right.
gonna run off here. 'cause I wanna
Absolutely.
get
Thank
this
you for
PC reset to
thank you
go.
for making it.
Yeah, same here. But yeah, thanks for the session. It was very fun.
Absolutely. And
Bye,
we'll
guys.
be coming into it, learning
Alright.
about this Goliath culture as well. So that should be fun.